were doing something so boneheaded, there wouldn't be like an intermediate step before disbarment that they could possibly explore? Or you think it's too
it's not. It's too many things. Like you cannot put like so. To say that the grand jury never saw the indictment would basically mean that like you falsified an indictment, and then you knew that the indictment was falsified. You knew that there was a declination memo, and you still brought this. Then you lied to the court. There's a whole piece of this that we haven't even talked about, and that's like this has been ongoing for quite some time. So there's been hearings in September, October. The story has changed each of those times. So
she'd be better off.
She'd
be better off to admit that she's known him since she was a teen, and that she'd be better off to say, "Listen, this is why I did it. I've known him since I was a teen, and I got caught up."
What? How are we talking?
I don't know. But I would say no.
Wait, concerned with
am I in the Matrix?
Friendship.
Yeah.
I mean, friendship, one thing, but like there was just so many red flags here, and like to say that if she's I can't remember what her position is exactly, but she then directed her superior lie to the judge. Like,
so the question, what's the guy named? Concrete said, he asked the question, is it a step that she could not possibly get disbarred? She did this. Like, she consented to it. That's number one. Number two, still, like, I would think that even if she was to say, hey, listen, he told me to do this and have evidence, she still has to take responsibility and accountability for the actions that she did.
Like, yeah, that's why I said an intermediate step before the final disbarment. Like maybe, what are they? I don't know what steps. Maybe suspension or.
So, I can send. I'll put in the back channel too, like the link to the judge's opinion. But
you said you want
he calls this. No, what? I'm talking about. Oh my God! So the judge called this willful and reckless disregard for the law,
right?
Like, and that's a Republican judge that they brought in from South Carolina because they wanted to say that like this judge was unbiased, had no connection to like any of the stuff that's happening. It's too much for it's.
I put it in
it's too much for me.
Alicia, I put in the chat that Bondi could be in trouble as well because I read that she signed off more than once on the affirmations of Harrigan's submission of the documents in her case. So the AG signed off on this as well. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure Matt Cool and the other MAGA can tell us that everything's on the up and up.
See, but this is an L for pretty women everywhere because, like people think Lindsay Halligan is like attractive and she's she's still young, an attorney. Like, this just discredits a whole new generation of attorneys with her fuckery.
On top of this might not be illegal, but certainly unethical, and we'll get the case dismissed as part of it. I don't know if you heard from Alicia. The prosecutors told the judge that they were under orders from the DOJ not to release documents of other DOJ attorneys saying not to bring the indictments.
Wow.
I don't know if people know about that. So apparently other people at the DOJ were like, no, there's no indictment to bring. This is our recommendation. And, it was attested. And the judge asked for it. And they said today they were not allowed to submit it. Or maybe it was yesterday. Today or yesterday. This is Keystone Cop stuff. I don't know. People are, I know MAGA's excited to win, but respectfully, y'all don't have the smart people at the highest levels anymore. Sorry.
I mean, when you have your own people, though, quitting, like, that's a red flag. That should, tell you something. But then also, this was just messy as hell. I'm sad by this, y'all. I'm really sad because this just.
Have you ever heard about this happening? A grand jury indicts and never seeing the indictment? That's insane.
It's insane. I'm almost speechless. I've been following this and but like the other thing is, y'all have to understand, this is like a string from a sweater that's been pulled, because this whole thing has just fallen apart. It didn't start out looking this bad, and it has just gotten exponentially worse. And I'm scared of what we're going to find as we keep digging and as we keep getting more information.
Keep the metaphor going as we keep pulling. You said pulling.
Yes, as we keep pulling.
Don't mess up your metaphors.
Because it's also, it does bring in the question of like Letitia James and everything that she's experiencing, and all of these other now made up indictments.
Wait, who's the Fed chair?
Jerome Powell.
Asking honest, naive question.
The person
Lisa Cook.
Lisa Cook. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Just a
I
quick
think that
question.
may bring that into question too. But I mean, obviously, a lot of these were.
Maybe Maggie knows the question to the answer to this, or Kalisha. Honest, naive question. In the context of a grand jury, is there a judge overseeing the proceedings in the chair, or no? For the grand jury process.
Just generally.
Yeah, no. In a grand jury, like in this grand jury, can we say that there was a judge? So I'm just curious, right? Why like the rules of evidence and what the jurors get to see? There isn't like a judge that oversees and says, okay, before they go into deliberation or whatever, that they have all the proper documents. Why didn't the judge kind of reassure the process is the question.
So we haven't actually gotten to hear from the magistrate judge who presided over the grand jury indictment. That will be the icing on the cake in terms of whatever the hell comes out. But a judge is not typically present when a grand jury is doing their proceedings, because it's secret. The fact that they released and unsealed a grand jury proceeding is incredibly rare.
They released what?
They unsealed the grand jury proceeding. Rarely ever happens. There has to be the test to even consider this is literally you have to have unshakable, there has to be some type of concrete, no pun intended, evidence of some type of misconduct. And then the judge does give the instructions and the legal guidance. But the other problem is apparently the prosecutors provided information to the grand jurors that they were never supposed to have.
Yeah, somebody oversees it, but in the room, it's just the witnesses, a reporter, and the grand jury itself, or something like that?
The prosecutor. And the prosecutor leaves for deliberations. But that was the other thing that was really suspicious about this, because when they talk about in the opinion, so they were like, oh, the grand jury had returned the indictment at 6:40, and at 6:47, the judge or whatever signed indictment number 2, and they had left to deliberate at 4:30, and they said the prosecutor had no contact with the grand jury between 4:30 and 6:47 or whatever it was when it was signed. So the whole thing, just their lives aren't even adding up.
Is there any MAGA heads in here that are going to run interference for this?
It's funny that run interference.
I'm just waiting to hear that. I've been waiting for that part.
They'll run interference for the past stuff without this.
Justify this.
I just like that. Get some more.
They scared.
My reading of the comment file is today. I'm gonna be honest, and this might be slightly conspiratorial. I don't know if they're gonna call the grand jurors, Alicia. I feel like they had them sign something that they didn't know they were signing, obviously, and lied to them about what they were signing.
Well, they didn't actually see it. That's actually the
what I'm saying.
bigger
They said
thing.
that you're doing this thing, and it wasn't this thing, and then they added that thing later. They had them sign something that added on to the end. It's a mess. Absolute mess.
How could you be so nefarious and so messy at the same time?
I'm trying to understand that they turned over all the injuries documents. The defense now has that.
Yes, they were ordered to turn
They
them
were
all
ordered
over.
to. Yeah,
Like,
they had
That's
that.
crazy.
So
That is so crazy.
the only thing that
How often does that happen? That almost never happens.
never, but
Never
the thing is, they aren't going to reach out to the grand jury yet because they're still because this indictment was in 2025, so that grand jury is still on, like, in session. So
It's
if
still impounded.
so if they like try to reach out to those, they're risking the lives of the people on the grand jury if they try to do anything or try to act them.
It's a mess.
How do they not use that to go ahead and get this dismissed at this point?
Well, it's going to get dismissed.
Right.
I
But
think
the
what's
problem's
interesting.
all out from the dismissal.
Yes.
That lady's career is done. And I'm telling you, when she gets out of that AG spot, Pam Bondi might be in an early retirement. She might be the conciliary for the Trump Enterprises Bitcoin. Because, like I said, she signed off on this multiple times.
She's aging by 5, like that. I think she's aging like 5, 10, 15.
Oh, that lady looks good for her age.
She's
looks
stressed.
like
She's
that.
stressed. She looks like the White House secretary.
Wait, are you talking
Stop.
about Bondi?
But what are we talking about?
Anyway, get back to the story.
Yeah, like let's stay on topic.
Hold up, y'all.
Who, other than the is there anybody outside of the prosecutorial team who's responsible to make sure that the jury's looking at the right documents? That's my question.
Well, no, because the prosecution's the only one in the room.
Okay.
When you do a grand jury, it's just the prosecutor. Typically, there's like one witness who's going to be the lead agent. Oh, y'all, we haven't even talked about agent number 3, okay? Because this shit is so fucking messy. I'll get there in a second. But in a grand jury room, there's only the prosecutor, like one witness, like whatever the agent is, and then the grand jury.
I thought a reporter was court reporter.
The court reporter's in there for the presentation, but not for the deliberation.
Okay.
Why a judge isn't necessary to be in that proceeding?
Oh, it's secret.
Because it's all secret.
But,
But there's nothing to judge. There's no defense. There's nothing to judge.
Yeah, there's no question of law.
Yeah.
It's just question of whether the facts are enough to indict the person.
Yeah.
But if the prosecution is like going outside of the rules of the court, like who's there to keep the prosecution in line? You know what I'm saying? I understand the judge just wants the secrecy, so even if he's in there, you don't gotta. I'm sorry.
The proceedings are recorded.
There's no judge.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. The proceedings are recorded, correct?
Oh, God. There's no judge.
The proceedings
Alicia, speak, please. Go ahead.
the presentation that the prosecutor is yes, that's the court reporter records all of that. But the deliberation, and there's an allegation basically that the prosecutor or someone from the prosecutorial office was in the room during deliberation, which is unconscionable.
Oh my God.
The lady had never done it before. She was appointed because she'll do whatever he says, and she's fine. That's why the Bondi thing is a problem too, because she has to sign off on everything.
So there's not a supervising federal judge in that case at all?
There was no case.
Yeah, it was just a grand jury.
I'm just saying the grand jury. I'm just usually like the DOJ, Inspector General, the state bar, somebody has dominion over the grand jury to a certain degree.
So we haven't even gotten there yet. Like this is we're like rewind all the way back, okay? Because there's a couple of issues here. The first is that they never got a search warrant. So they never even had probable cause in the first place to ask for materials that they had already illegally accessed. Then when you get to the grand jury, there's no judge like that's like saying, you know, the judge will give the jury and the grand jury the instructions, but they're not there to, you know, curtail the prosecutor or because that's not their role in this case. The whole point of a grand jury being top secret is that, the defense has no knowledge of what happens there. They have no say. And usually what happens in the grand jury room stays in the grand jury room. So the fact that they have opened the doors is already, I don't know. I need to Google how often this happens because especially in federal court, not normal.
The fact that she doesn't have any experience as a prosecutor, will that give her any leeway, or is it just too blatant?
Nah.
That makes it worse. So, if you're an attorney and, say I get a family law case, okay? So it's my duty as an attorney to familiarize myself with whatever the procedures, whatever the stuff is for the family law case, but also to seek out someone who has more experience to have them, assist me. So the fact that she did all of this, and it was really with the caucasity, because you have to have some level of, gumption to do the shit she did.
Kalisha, who was the other attorney in the room?
For which one? Because they don't name them. They just, because for the indictment,
I'm saying, who do you think it was?
Oh, I have no idea, because it was someone, a random staff attorney at the AUSA's office.
And do you think the person was sort of probably coaching her through? Because the prosecutor basically is in charge. Do you think that they were coaching? What were they doing? What was the other person doing in there?
I don't know, cleaning up her shit. It's the other attorney being there is not as bad as them being in there during the jury deliberations. So I didn't articulate exactly what the timeline is well. So let me read it verbatim so that it's more clear about exactly what they're saying happened, because it's unlike anything I have ever. I read it last night at 11 o'clock, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So,
is it Tyler Lemons in this AP article? I don't know if this is right, but I'm just reading it right now. I don't know if that's who you're asking about.
I know this won't happen, but it seems like it should come back on Bondi and Trump just as much. They're the ones that forced her into office, basically.
Yeah, Bondi for sure.
Do you
Bondi
think
for sure.
Trump is isolated enough, you think?
Yeah, he's the president. Nothing can fall on him.
That's true.
Do you think that she was on the phone with somebody at every roadblock saying, I got this problem, and they say just push on through?
Okay, so the government presented this case to the grand jury on September 25th, 2025. The same day, prior to the grand jury presentment, agent number 2 alerted the lead case agent, hereafter referred to as agent number 3, and an attorney with the FBI's Office of the General Counsel that evidence obtained in the government's investigation of James Comey may constitute attorney-client privileged or attorney-client confidential information. It is also possible that the agents may have obtained evidence that constitutes attorney work product information. Agent 2 gave Agent 3 and the FBI attorney a limited overview of the privileged communications. Agent 3, rather than remove himself from the investigative team until the taint issue was resolved, proceeded into the grand jury undeterred and testified in support of the pending indictment. In fact, Agent 3 was the only witness to testify before the grand jury in support of the pending indictment. The government's decision to allow an agent who was exposed to potentially privileged information to testify before a grand jury is highly irregular and a radical departure from past DOJ precedent.
Ed put in the chat, the prosecution, did you just read this, Kalisha? Allowed an FBI agent to testify before the grand jury?
Yeah, that's what I just read. The person who they said was tainted.
Despite knowing that communication, this is a mess. I don't.
And then there's issues with the statements that the prosecutor made to the grand jury, because those were also okay. So this is the last part. So finally, the record is well established that the grand jury was originally presented with a 3-count indictment signed by the prosecutor. The grand jury, however, rejected count 1 of the original indictment and found probable cause as to the 2 remaining counts. At some point, the prosecutor prepped and signed a second indictment that removed count 1 of the original indictment. At the return of the indictment, the government put both the first and the second indictments to the magistrate judge. It's fucking weird.
Is it possible that Comey, once this gets thrown away, is it possible that he can sue the prosecutors for vindictive? I don't know what it's called, vindictive prosecution or something.
Malicious prosecution.
I think it's vindictive, the word.
I think it's malicious.
Oh, it seems that the lawyer from the room, it's on the phone.
All right. What's next on the docket? Pun intended.
How's it going?
Thank you.
What the mag is in here?
Yeah, where the mag?
Oh, they're in here.
Maggot.
Why? Okay, let me put out the MAGA signal. The black MAGA signal. Do they have to be? Can they be black or what do you want?
Magas, it don't matter.
I got the connect. Okay, all right. Let me put the word. If you haven't heard. Hey, Snickerdoodle. Okay.
Wait, y'all sitting in silence?
Yes, we enjoy each other like that. Sometimes when you like people,
It's just,
sometimes when you like people, you just can just sit here. It's okay. Yeah.
Let me do the traction. Y'all ran out of ideas.
Just tell everybody that you ain't got nobody who wants to sit in silence with you. So you come being a disruptor.
yeah, we were enjoying,
You do know Kennedy.
we were enjoying our cognitive. We were enjoying our cognitive.
Concrete, do you remember this really pretty girl named Ayana? She's still that. Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
You weren't using your southern voice. You like
The one who can really better than you.
oh my
Dollar
God.
Tree flirt. You still out here selling those Dollar Tree flirt plans? Those models? You still out here selling those starter home models?
Actually, I'm about to do a manufactured home community. You want to buy one?
Okay, Concrete, stop flirting. Sorry, I got a phone call. So, on November 14th, 2025, the prosecutor filed a declaration with the court attempting to address the issue of whether the transcript of the grand jury proceedings filed with the court was full and complete. The prosecutor stated that after the grand jury was left to deliberate on the first indictment at approximately 4:28 p.m., she had no further contact with the grand jury. The prosecutor stated that at approximately 6:40 p.m., she was notified by the then first assistant United States attorney that the grand jury returned a true bill on only 2 of the 3 counts presented by the government. The prosecutor, according to her declaration, then proceeded to the courtroom for the return of the indictment. The hearing on the return of the indictment began at approximately 6:47 p.m. So the problem is that would mean that between 6:40 and 6:47, an entirely new indictment was drafted that removed the first count and only had the second 2 counts. and also doesn't make sense how the first assistant United States attorney knew what the jury decided before the hearing started. I don't know if y'all.
Ain't that some
What the hell
shit?
is going
Excuse
wrong?
me.
Yeah.
So the question that I had for you before you went into the call is it possible that they could call me after this is dismissed, can sue for vindictive prosecution? I don't know if there's other charges that could be there, but the government is not gonna charge themselves. But I don't know if Comey has any legal recourse to criminally prosecute them.
It's pretty difficult to hold the federal government accountable for anything. The Federal Tort Claims Act is literally impossible to receive remedy from. Also, the prosecution, even if they commit prosecutorial misconduct, it's knowing misconduct and it's intentional. They still are in their professional capacity, so they have immunity.
Can you bring libel against the President of the United States?
No, because the President of the United States is functioning in his official capacity.
Of course, there you go, that part. Yep.
I mean, he got fucked and there's no recourse. It's horrible.
So you're saying a prosecutor may falsify, for example, documents, and then the judge cannot hold them in some kind of contempt or something. There's nothing that they can do.
I mean, they can be disbarred, but disbarment is like a slap on the wrist. If you're disbarred, it just means you don't get to play box anymore. It doesn't there's no accountability.
You could be a social
Life.
They just can't practice law.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's your whole life, but what y'all are not understanding is these are people's whole lives that they decided to just try to destroy intentionally. Yeah. And the fact that you can maliciously do some shit like that and have you can still go and buy your donuts at the grocery store and get your massage from the little Asian lady down the street. This shit does not matter to these people. They're playing games. So their law license is just another piece on the playing board. They don't give a fuck.
Definitely doesn't sound fair if all what they get is just disbarment. But I hope at least if that's all what we can get, at least that happens soon. That will prevent them from holding the position too, right? So could a judge says oh, okay, I disbar you, and you can no longer be the Attorney General?
So that's an interesting question that I would have to look up because I don't know, because that's an appointed position. So ostensibly, you don't have to be an attorney to be the Attorney General of the United States.
Yeah, but it's all a circus.
Wait, we need to establish
I have a
that
question,
right there.
So what happened with, if y'all are saying that the president had immunity, what happened with Clinton and Paula Jones? Because didn't she win a defamation case against him as the president?
Yeah, but didn't they rule
Paula Jones?
right?
Yeah, so remember when she had sued him back in the 90s while he was the president.
Civil lawsuit.
Now they're I get it, official acts, but some of the things that Trump says can be deemed unofficial.
So
Yeah, but a ruling.
it's he doesn't have absolute immunity from civil lawsuits. So there's a caveat, and that's why he would be able to succeed. That's why she was able to succeed.
And they settled out of court. But she could have succeeded, that is correct.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's all circus.
But the
Yeah,
other
like
thing
that's
is this. But the other thing is, this happened before he was president. Remember, this was when he was the governor of Arkansas, also known as Arkansas. So it's a little bit more of a gray area.
No, but the case did say, Felicia, you were right, that presidents can be sued for civil matters.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if that would stand up today with like the way that they have like interpreted the presidential powers and like what falls under the scope of, you know, just based on the rulings that they've had, the Supreme Court has had. I don't know if that would stand up today.
If it happened while he was president, correct. So your point about being governor is correct too.
Yeah,
I read an interesting article. I just thought about this, guys. I'll be right back. It was in the New York Times on Tuesday, and yeah, give me 1 second.
Go ahead, James. Tell us what we're missing.
No, I mean, the whole thing is this: Trump 2.0 is not Trump 1.0.
This is good.
Trump 1.0 was different. Trump 2.0, they got to him. Everything is different now. Like, it's completely different. I was a whole diehard supporter of Trump and 1.0. But 2.0 is complete now. And I think, go ahead.
Sorry, James. No, I want you to finish first.
Well, the reality is like, there are so many things fundamentally changing with our society right now in ways that, and again, if you ask me who I thought the baddest woman in America is, I would tell you Rosa Parks. Period. Hands fucking down, and I will fight on that hill.
Not Pinky? You don't think it was Pinky?
No, Rosa Parks. Just Rosa Parks. And my component is, I read some, but not maybe to the level that you understand. And I think the difference is that people really have to look and understand what's going on. I think there's so much minutia going on. And yes, it's back and forth and political, theater and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, but really, what does that matter? Like, at the end of the day, when you look at, I've been in AI. I'm the first person that predicted COVID. In fact, if you Google coronavirus Forbes James Ross head shatter, which is my company, you'll literally see I literally went to Forbes and told the whole world this whole shit was going to go down. This was in the third week of January 2020. I literally did. And Forbes had to backstop, and they had to go get all the top doctors.
The third week of 2020. We knew about the virus in 2019, hence the word COVID-19. Yes.
Well, you didn't. No, here's the funny thing. Good point. You didn't learn about that until probably the middle of 2020. You didn't learn that it was 2019 until the middle of 2020.
Okay, but you said you were the first in the world, so it doesn't do with me.
Well, the whole point is,
so you were before the WHO.
But also, James, you do realize that this whole illegal search was conducted during Trump 1.0. It was in 2017 and 2018 when Comey was appointed. When the attorney was appointed as Comey's counsel.
No, I get all of that.
So it was during Trump 1.0.
I get all that. But here's the thing. The whole financial system was about to bust. It was literally about to break. And I literally deal with hedge funds. Those are my clients. And they, the ones that have multi-billion dollars.
Yeah, just give two names. We just want to know which ones. Put some texture on it. Which hedge funds?
Well, under India, I can't say, but all you have to do is simply.
Have you ever worked with Inner Oaks Hedge?
No.
Okay. Do you know them, Inner Oaks? That's the one in Connecticut. They're out of Greenwich, Inner Oaks.
No, what's their AUM?
I don't remember. I just made it up. Go ahead, Dean.
So then, no. Obviously, no. I know. So the whole point is this, and I'm going to tell you guys this straight, 100%. And it's going to be a dynamic shift from the existing conversation, and if you want to flood it or shut it down, that's fine. Here's the fucking deal. The only hope for humanity with AI and everything we have right now is the black community. That's it. The black community is literally
Damn, y'all are ruthless.
Yeah, we wouldn't have done that at Chosen.
Okay, concrete. So maybe we should go over there. Wait, so maybe we should
kill people in Chillism?
They don't kill people, but they do allow white people to call you the N-word.
Thank you.
Oh, hell no. Concrete. What the fuck?
That's how he rolled.
No, that was a joke, by the way.
Funny.
No, that's the reality.
Wait, why did y'all pick him? I wanted to hear how we were gonna save the work.
What? I didn't. Miki, have you been paying attention to this stuff with James Comey? I want to know what you think.
I went shopping today. I'm in a good mood. I don't know what
Well, never mind. You put it together, girl. You messed up those shoe outfit, didn't you?
And I'm eating Chick-fil-A, so I really don't give a shit.
This is a real good day, girl.
So we got about 30, 35 minutes? Okay, got it.
Whatever.
When she come back and cuss you out, just don't act surprised because y'all be baiting people and knowing they don't give a damn.
Is it a spicy chicken sandwich?
No, I don't want the spicy chicken sandwich.
Now we give people
that content for this content?
I didn't do them. I was listening. I mean, if your clients are hedge funds, goddamn.
The center of fucking attention.
You gotta make a lot of money if your clients are hedge funds.
I was like, I did it.
Penny.
All that money still couldn't buy a fucking clue.
But can I get a recap? What's going on with James Comey?
The entire Justice Department has shown not only their ass, but the inner wall of their anus, and we are currently in a meltdown.
So what else is new? Another day in the Trump administration.
So the grand jury, it was revealed that the grand jury never even saw the indictment that they allegedly indicted, that the prosecutor knowingly presented information that they knew they weren't supposed to present, then lied about it, then made other people lie about it to the judge. And now they have to turn over all the documents. Documents which they were never supposed to have.
Woo-wee.
Lying ain't good for you. See, Republicans quit lying.
Let me ask you something about, like, what do you guys think that now the Epstein files, it's coming to Trump to sign to release the Epstein files. Do you guys think that he's going to veto it, or do you think he's going to sign it and release it? Like, where will you put your money?
What if this is all just a gotcha and like a poison pill, and Trump knows that it's not really him and his people that are going to be condemned by these files, but the Democrats, and they've created this faux outrage
He already said
like
that.
fuck them.
He already said that.
Oh, well, damn, I thought I was being unique.
So you think he's going to sign?
In his mouth already. He said it. He said it's going to be mostly Democrats.
Iki, you've been coming out there a few times. Did you want to say something? Kiki.
Yeah, I was trying to check if I was still muted.
I think he's going to sign it, but they're going to redact everything that has to do with him.
They already moved Elaine to a newer, cushier, more secure facility. They're not releasing.
You mean less secure?
I don't get that.
Yeah, less secure, but also more secure. Because, like, the less secure facility would mean that, like, she had, like, yes, she has more privileges, but also, like, it's more difficult for people to come in, people from the outside, to speak with her. she's
I'll never
isolated.
I'll never trust them. They got.
Wait, why do you say that? Why do you say it's more difficult for? Why is it more difficult at this prison than the other one?
Because they can't access her as easily.
Oh, you mean it's just set up that way? It's not because they. But shit, she's probably trying to get work released, so everyone's gonna access her ass.
She's probably getting prime rib and a glass of wine every night.
I guess they're coming in freely. They're coming in freely, and they're getting preferential treatment. They're getting snacks and drinks served to them, so there is no difficulty accessing her.
But if something happens to her, G-Lane is, all that shit is gonna come out. I figured that out years ago. They're not gonna touch her.
She said that, right? She said,
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
they know damn well there's not gonna be no suicide shit with her. I already know.
What you think they're not gonna do to?
They're not gonna do the she killed herself thing, because I bet all of that shit is gonna come out. I'm pretty sure they've been trying to figure out who she communicated with, how she communicated with them to take them out, but she's too smart for that. I'm pretty sure all of that shit is gonna come out if something even remotely happens to her.
You know, she's keeping a journal that she's given Paige's brother.
Wait, you
that
think
she's writing down everything that happened or whatever the case. Did she write a book? Was it her who wrote a book? Because she has a journal, and when her brother comes, she gives him pages out of the journal to keep for safety.
I don't even think it's her brother, because honestly, I think they would have taken her brother out. You know what I'm saying? Like I would take both of them out at the same time. I think that there's probably several people or people that don't realize what like it's encrypted or something. I don't know, something, and that should something happen, that like the shit is gonna go out, automatically, and it's gonna go to several people because she's too smart.
So many
she's disgusting and diabolical, but yeah.
When they keep saying that there is no list, she is the list. Because don't you know that she knows everything? She knows who came, who went, who saw, who conquered. She knows all of it. So she is the list.
So you're just saying that someone else needs to take her?
Well, honestly,
the other side.
If we think about it, this is why one day I want to do a room on JP Morgan Chase and all that bullshit. Scratch a financial scandal and there their happy asses are. They got in trouble for Madoff. They got fined. They got in trouble with the victims. They got fined because that's where all the money was coming from. They weren't giving him cash. I think I read that he had like 3,000 wires totaling $1 billion at some point. So JP Morgan Chase was sued. What was it, 2023, and they received a pretty decent settlement.
Oh, yeah.
They know who the fuck was sending his ass money, because that was all wire and cash transfers, right? Because imagine if you were paying, significant amount of money, because this man was a middle school teacher at a private school. Wasn't he like a science teacher or something? Something like that?
Wasn't that in the 80s, though? That was only in the 80s.
Physics. Physics.
Right. But
it was a subtlety.
Because somebody was trying to tell me, but he had a wealth management firm like Bernie Madoff. Yeah, but Bernie Madoff made his billions from, running a Ponzi scheme, even though he was head of the NASDAQ.
Yeah, and he made his by fucking Lex Luthor. Not Lex Luthor. What the fuck is his name? The other Lex from Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, but somebody doesn't give you $500 million because you got some strong jaws. He was getting paid. He bought, because he had 2 islands. That's what I keep telling people. He had the big island and then he had the little island. He was like Richard Branson, right? He was like Martha Stewart's white party in the Hamptons. Everybody and their mama would go and party on Epstein's Island. It was the other island where the stuff was happening. So obviously he was dealing, I hate to just put it this way, but he was dealing in flesh. So JP Morgan Chase funky ass got sued because anyone in banking or finance knows that you were supposed to report all of those goddamn wires, because what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? It would be his brokerage account that would be receiving the money if clients were supposed to be getting their assets invested, right? It's not going to, Miki Gabriel. It's going to, whatever firm I have, Fidelity, Schwab, or if I have my own, you're supposed to show accounts, right? So yeah, this was all some bullshit. JP Morgan Chase is always in the fuckery every single goddamn time. Just like Madoff.
Miki, are you talking about the settlement that the Virgin Islands had against JP Morgan or the victims?
Both of them, because they were doing some shit. So that's what I'm saying. If we want to start with a list, that's what the fuck I would subpoena. I want to know who the hell wired money into that account, or who deposited, or where the checks came from. Who was giving his ass money? Let's start there. And what the fuck were you giving him money?
But that's actually available.
It's very traceable at those amounts. It's very traceable. He was good at hypothesizing trades. He got a little run, and then he moved into the flesh market. But the transfers of monies at that level are very easy to trace.
Yeah, I mean, they can trace everything. That's just like your statement. They have to keep that information. Because look at the real estate that he was buying in New York. Do we think that he, was like buying property in Brazil?
Under his name, it was actually purchased under Lex, whatever the dude, the Victoria's Secret dude.
Lex Wexner, that's his name, Lex Wexner.
But even if it was Wexner's name,
the island, all of that was he had total, what is it called? Fuck. Total power of attorney and everything for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the money that he made actually did. I don't know why the guy didn't come after him. I guess he was embarrassed, but that home, that mansion, was originally Wexner's.
But even if it's like, so even if somebody is like, you're buying a house and you're paying, well, I'll say it depends in my experience, right? So if you're buying a house under someone else's name, but it's for someone else, like a gift, like if I wanted to give my kids a gift of $50,000 for a down payment on a house. So what we would have to do in some instances is, depending on, the title company, like Stewart Title Company is an asshole for these things. They would want to see the date that the transfer was made to that third party's account, because they were like, what is the source of these funds, right? Because that's also a part of money laundering. You don't think that, some foreign national who's like a Mexican drug dealer can't just come over here and plop down $100 million and go buy, 3 properties in Florida? You're supposed to track all that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just JP Morgan Chase. I'm curious to see, like, who did the financing, or if he just, you buy a $50 million property.
I'm so glad that you saved me this space.
Oh, what? Who?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry if I was
Oh, girl. Okay. But I was like, yeah, so that's what I want to see. I'm waiting for all of that information to come out. Like, and I'm pretty sure JP Morgan Chase, if you scratch a thief, there go their goofy asses letting people do whatever the hell they want because it's large sums.
Yeah, I jumped on the interface.
So there's like so much that but remember, it's not just about that though, because JP Morgan Chase cut ties with Epstein in 2013. So it's also that they knew this was happening and did nothing. And the new trafficking victim protection laws, there's some type of affirmative duty.
Well, they're supposed to be, and of course a lot of this was strengthened after 9/11, So there's also an amount, the annual exclusion amount that the IRS sets, right? Remember, JD, this came up in Lou's room. A lot of people don't really reference it, but it's just I could give everybody on this stage that amount, and I don't have to report it to the IRS.
Yeah, 19K.
Yes. So the person who receives the funds, you don't have to report it. So I could give everybody on the stage $1 million if I wanted to. You don't have to pay tax on that $1 million. but let's just say I'm worth $25 million for shits and giggles. I have to file, I believe it's a 709, which is basically a gift tax form. And I have to let the IRS know that, hey, you know, there's an exclusion amount that you have, the estate exemption. Yes, that's it. It's the United States Gift and Generation Skipping Transfer tax return, right? So it's used by an individual, I'm the donor, to report taxable gifts and certain generation skipping transfers, like if I just gave money to my grandchildren, and to figure the tax on those transfers. The person who receives the gift does not pay the gift tax, because the IRS is like, hey, buddy, you trying to give away some of your estate before you die? You naughty girl, run us our fucking taxes, right? So it's a very common tactic, but at a certain wealthy level, you have to keep track of this stuff. Why? Because the IRS is going to get you, and part of it is like banks and financial institutions, even brokerage firms, are required to report this information, so to speak. Like, oh, you did $1 million transfer, huh? Why did you send them $1 million? And did you report this on your form 709? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if Wexner was making gifts of this amount, your estate tax exclusion, I think that Trump, first of all, Trump lied when he said he made the estate tax go away. No, he didn't. The estate tax sucks, though. It really does. You pay taxes all your life, then you die. They want you to give up to like 40% of your estate just because you're wealthy. That's bullshit. But it's only like $15 million. So you're only able to like shield a certain amount of your estate. I know the 1% of the 1% of the 1%'s problems, but that's the point I'm trying to make, guys. Somebody at that level of wealth, even a billionaire, you can't just go buying people shit willy-nilly is my point. Somebody had to do some fucking reporting, and clearly that was not done, because that would have been an audit like,
Yeah. Right now, if you can gift up to $19,000.
Creed, I'm sorry. I'll talk about nickels and dimes since you're falling asleep. Did you get your food stamps in time to go to the grocery store and get a discount?
God damn. Speaking of food stamps, did you guys know that in IGP, conservative Klan notified the entire stage that she is on food stamps? And yeah. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, we don't talk about other rules.
I thought that was so crazy, because I was like, what?
Bruh, no, it was wild. We can talk about that, okay? It was wild. It was wild. Conservative Klan on ITV stage, she admitted that she's still sending free titty pics while she's on food stamps.
Who is that?
Conservative Ann Hero. What's her name? Micah Ann.
Conservative Klan. You say conservative Ann?
Yeah, I mean, I call her Klan.
Oh wait, Ann White.
Yeah, she told us here. She told us
Wait, Ann?
Yes.
She's on food stamps?
Yes.
Oh my God. And she was literally speaking about it, and she was trying to come for Black people. Black women in particular are. I have to say it that way.
I dragged her ass.
And then she said it, and she was like, I mean, by the way, I'm on food stamps. And it was like, what? Oh my, and then she was like, well, I mean, I got on food stamps when my father passed away. He was like, your grown ass was like, and it was, whoa.
And she told us,
going through financial issues?
No, it was the fact that she was shitting on people. She was shitting on the Democrats and talking about, you know, people didn't even miss their monthly payment or whatever, food stamps. I know because I'm on them. And I was like, what the hell?
So she added a truthful context to the situation, and now.
So why don't you just ask questions before you assume?
That was
The questions that
Let me answer your question. I told her that she was wasting her whiteness by being poor.
Oh.
Listen.
Well, to be honest, she had a conversation in here when the stamps was being revoked, and she told us that she was alone.
Right now, there's some people who are financially insecure in your audience, and you're being very callous towards them.
And then is she okay?
There is nothing wrong with being on food stamps. It's just she's white and
the financially deprived, the impoverished members of the room. I would hope that you would be a little bit more empathetic towards their plight and not just use it as a moment to like tell somebody.
Well, you would have to understand the conversation.
And the cheese and the
You're
calories.
trying to gaslight me. Why are you trying to gaslight me?
Okay. No, you're trying to gaslight us, sir.
Wait,
That's what
are y'all not making fun of Ann for being on welfare?
nobody made fun of her for being on welfare. I made fun of her for wasting her whiteness. But you know what? If she wants to talk crazy about black people and food stamps, then she gon'.
But you understand that other people that qualify are on welfare in the room right now, and you're also making fun of them.
Nobody's making fun of anyone for Can you shut up?
I'm a Christian. Doing the
No,
other thing.
the Christians don't do this. Christians don't
call people out for their bullcrap.
No, first of all, you gotta make sure that that's what they're actually doing. You're asking the question, but at the same time, you're continuously insinuating that what you think to be true is true, and it's not.
Yeah, you're not gonna gaslight me. They're making fun of Ann for being on welfare.
Okay, somebody move.
Exactly.
I can't deal with him. No, I'm telling you that that's not what's happening.
How are you gonna tell me what I hear with my own ears? They're making fun of Ann for being on welfare and announcing it to the room.
Christians hang out in chillism.
What's going on?
Okay, well, I don't know why chillism isn't open for you, but maybe you should go find them and
Why?
be with them.
Because I don't like accept your gaslighting.
You're not gonna sit here and tell me that I'm gaslighting.
You're not gonna tell me that I don't hear what I hear.
Okay, well then guess what? I'm not gonna argue with you.
Why is he writing so hard for what's going on?
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Omari, are you there? What do you think about all this Comey stuff? Is he reformed now? What's good?
No, he's not reformed. Well, I'm sorry, it depends on the hour. So he might be reformed at this particular hour. Kept him in, AMSO, and he's another person. I'm not sure if he's there. He might be on a run. He breaks up.
Yeah, I'm up in there. Just want to thoughts on what happens.
Told you. Hey, Alicia.
Did you listen to all the stuff with Comey? Do you have any thoughts?
No, I kind of heard some of it. What you were saying that the what do you call it? The prosecutor, the one the DOJ fucked up, like put some information lied or some shit. I'm listening. That's hey, if you're trying to find a way to take somebody because the president told you to, so that's our country. That's bad for our democracy altogether, regardless on what side of it he's in. But it doesn't change the fact that he was not, honest to Congress. According to, I was listening to what's homeboy on Fox News, the one lawyer, the good one, the one that I think he professor at Georgetown. George. Yeah. No, that's a Democrat one. What's his name? Turley, Professor Turley, Reverend Professor Turley. And we're talking about Turley. Jonathan Turley. Yeah. What does he teach at again? I forgot. Okay, thanks for that.
But definitely not a Democrat.
Democrat, for sure. And he was just, like, Comey fucked up, man. Comey might have been bad for everybody. He came out on Hillary Clinton, which they don't usually do, fucked that whole shit up. And then with Trump, talked about the P-tape, knowing that shit wasn't even real. He has, I don't know what position that FBI agent was, but we know he lied on the FISA application. He got a little bit of a slap on the wrist for that shit. But yeah, under Comey, it was a bad FBI. It might be the worst FBI agent in history. Next to
worse than J. Edgar.
Next to what's happening? Yeah, I would say wait. No, I'll take that back. No. Okay, you're right.
Okay.
J. Edgar. Yeah, he was pretty bad. I'll take that back.
Don't wait till pro.
But Khaleesi, can you repeat, like, kind of just give a short synopsis of like what the judge said, just really quickly, like why they might throw the case out? Did she leave? Oh, she might have left. Anyone else? Like, why? What would be the reason why throwing the case out for that particular reason? Because
the information was gathered illegally.
How do you the DOJ, how do you gather information illegally if it's
no warrants, no permission? They signed off on paper on the indictment. They had the grand jury sign off on indictments the grand jury never saw. It's pretty bad.
Okay. All right. So but like, is it really illegal? Like, if you I did hear what she said. Information they should have never had. Why wouldn't the DOJ not have access to all information? That's the part I was kind of scratching out.
So, and Matt, a question. To what degree might this have been an intentional, just political ploy to get the media moment? I mean, it was like,
yeah. Well, the intentional piece will be bad because if they can discover it was intentional, that lady's going to be disbarred, and Pat Bondi could be as well. I think it would be bad to get the media attention and he gets dismissed for shoddy work when you're appointing somebody who has no prosecutorial experience. So I think they just, revenge is a dish served cold, they say. Use my cliches, but it came in too hot. I know I tortured that. It doesn't make any sense to me. James Comey was never going to be convicted. James Comey is a better lawyer than all of these people. James Comey is a lawyer, he's head of the FBI for several years when he was at Chicago Law School. People in a different league. I know, part of MAGA, we're in a moment where the elites are hated. But when it comes to elite spaces, the elites know what they're doing. So that's where we are.
I have a question, and this is how CEO would ask the question. What grade would the stage here, the people who are leftists or leftist center, give James Comey? I'm getting bad. CEO, see that right there?
I would like for a Democrat president, for one time in our history, appoint an FBI director. Do you guys know a Democrat president has never appointed an FBI director? It'd be interesting to see what the FBI would look like appointed by a Democrat. Yeah, so he was terrible. And I firmly believe he was decisive in Hillary Clinton losing the election in 2016.
I agree with that.
He was an egoistic media hog. I can't believe the FBI director would hold a press conference. What was it, a week before an election, 2 weeks before an election, centering yourself on one of the major candidates? That's insane.
Was it Comey from Barack?
No, he was appointed by Bush Fee. That is the son, and he just stayed on with Barack because the FBI director traditionally has 10-year terms.
Did that come out before or after the grabbing by the?
Wait a minute.
I swear he was.
Wait a minute. Oh, you know what? He was appointed by Barack. He's a Republican. That's what I got wrong. I'm sorry. It'd be nice to have a Democrat who's a. You're right. Barack Obama did appoint him. I was wrong on that. So I apologize. But he was a registered Republican. That's what it was. No registered Republican had been appointed. My bad. I got it wrong. Thank you, Patty, for the correction.
You know that Patty,
black men.
Yeah, Patty has the best correction style.
CEO, one second. See how easy that is, black men? When you're wrong, you can just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. That's my bad."
Nah, you were supposed to just make up a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
you move around there.
Make up the whole thing. Yeah.
What is this wrong that you speak of? What is this wrong that you speak of? I know none of such things.
Couldn't possibly be wrong. But yeah, we haven't had a Democrat. I apologize.
So did his press conference come before or after the ET tape?
After, if I recall correctly. Because
it was after.
I think the ET tape came
in August.
And then Trump I think it was before one of the debates, because I think after the ET tape, Trump had brought like Clinton victims or something. Am I remember this right?
Yeah, it was an
That's right. that shit was crazy. He was sitting in the audience looking sideways, the side-eye look. Oh, shit was crazy. I remember that.
To this day, I'm still convinced, and I have some, I don't know, second degree knowledge on it via Chris Christie. I still believe to this day Donald Trump had no idea he was going to win in 2016, and never thought he was going to win in 2016. They were trolling the whole time.
That's not a stretch. That's believable.
Okay. And
yeah, he said when he came down, you could tell he looked like, what the fuck am I doing now? Look.
Yeah, because they didn't have a victory speech written out, if I recall correctly. Is that right? Do I remember that night?
I remember him not knowing or not thinking he was going to win, and I'm not even certain if he didn't say it himself, but I distinctly remember that.
And Mega, if you remember, he actually, after he won, went into like old school Donald Trump style. He met with Al Gore and MLK the third and Steve Harvey, and they all said what great meetings there were. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, they all went through the lobby of Trump Tower. I remember that.
Yeah, so what I don't know, when I don't, let me finish. So I don't know what happened though with his inauguration speech, because that was a moment of change. So something happened between most meetings. No, his inauguration speech.
Oh, American Carnage.
American Carnage. Yeah. That was like, okay, what the hell is this? It's like he went back into character then.
Has anyone ever read that speech, the text of it, since then?
No, I haven't even looked at it.
You should go read it.
I remember it. It warmed my heart.
People were mad.
Let me tell you something. I don't listen to Donald Trump when he speaks. I mute my TV. This is something probably no one I never told anybody in an open room. I mute my TV when Donald Trump speaks.
What, you want a cookie, Amari? What does that do for you?
I get him, Monica. Get him.
Karen attack. It's a Karen attack.
Monica, I don't need a cookie.
Trump, breaking news. Fox News just released a poll. Donald Trump gets his lowest ever approval on the economy. He's at 38% approval. That's really bad for a Republican CEO today.
That's low.
It's not 38. Wow. Yeah, it's really bad. That's
It's only above orange.
The base is, but hey, the 30% is his base.
Actually at 83%.
That's about as many. That's about as many felons that he has.
Yeah, well, why would y'all believe that? Don't you understand that people, the sources and methods to get that together? I wouldn't believe it just off the rip like that.
You came from Fox News, you wouldn't believe it.
The reason they came from Fox News because it's easily duplicatable. You can get your analysis.
It comes from Fox News, I believe it. I believe it from Fox News. Fox News is right about everything.
Well, one reason why.
Can I just want to Monica real quick? So Monica, real quick, just I don't need a cookie. What I'm saying is, he just goes on, and he just like sometimes he'll just say some of the most craziest shit that I just don't feel like having to just listen to. Like, we bring in, tens of thousands of immigrants are being deported, or millions of this, and everything's the greatest. Nobody wants to hear that shit every time.
You can't deal with his exaggerations.
I can't deal with it, man. That's the one.
That's what got him to win. You have to understand, like what Homeboy Concrete said earlier. When you inject things into the zeitgeist, that's an impact.
But
that's an impact that can
accrue. But the problem, Infinity, that's what got him to win. But there's a difference between campaigning and governing. And so when you're in the presidency and you're telling Americans that everything is honky-dory, and it's not honky-dory. This is going to be anecdotal, so I apologize. I don't like to do bad data, but I'll do one. I don't know if anybody knows, and I'll meet up after this. On Instagram, there's this new reel where people did the beginning of the YMCA song, and it says, like, you don't know how difficult it is to go from this, it's fun to stay at the YMCA, and then it slows down. I'm sure people have seen those. A lot of them are doing really badly. And tell people that everything's honky-dory, that's what you campaigned on, it's different. He was doing this in the first term last time. That's why they got shellacked in the midterms. And the last thing I'll say is a data point. The shellacking in the elections 3 weeks ago, confirms that he's not very popular because the Republicans lost Republican districts in Republican and Democrat states. I'm done.
I mean, it's okay.
I wouldn't overstate the benefit from the 3 week ago shellacking because, you know, there's a lot that's going to happen between now and then.
I'm not talking about now. I'm saying now I can believe that poll because right now I don't know what's going to happen next year. I mean, there was a poll that came out today, another one that had Democrats plus 14 in the congressional generic ballot. So it's not good for Republicans. I don't know. You can kind of spin it if you want, but like the professional Republicans know they're in trouble. But go ahead, you can spin it. Do you think?
I would say you can't spin it in that Senator. Yeah. I mean, look.
I'm not spinning anything.
Wait, are you saying he doesn't have the creativity or the talent to spin it, or you think? I'm trying to figure it out.
That was nasty.
I don't spin it because I'm in the no spin zone. So I don't be spinning stuff. Okay?
He asks Omari, what does Omari do?
All I'm saying is that polls are very rarely good. Polls are not to be believed at face value because all polls are, you know, you question the methods, the sources, and how they put things together. You know, I just take polls with a grain of salt. It could be true, it could not be true, and I'm going about my business.
If Trump is up to the polls, then you take it.
Same thing. Same thing, brother. I do the same thing for it all.
It's not that's not true. If you were in true. Infinity, you can do that. That's true. But I don't know if you know this, but people who aim to polls all the time. Are you familiar with that?
I am that, and I know the polls are not very. If you run everything off of polls, you're in trouble. Polls is not something you live and die by.
This is wait. If you're running a campaign,
polls are in your favor. You don't have.
Wait, why would you not live and die by poll?
Because the polling data is only as good as the people that are doing it and how good they are and what they do, the sources, the methods, and how they put the information together. Are there biased poll takers? Are they asking the questions right? Whatever. All these elements matter.
So the problem with what you're saying, respectfully, is that, I just love the respect. If you know that, why do you think professionals who do this for a living don't know that?
No, because you got political consultants, and I know of one in particular.
It doesn't matter if you have political consultants. This is what I'm saying.
You don't even let me finish my point.
You hadn't finished, but let me say what I was saying. Donald Trump has pollsters. Donald Trump has pollsters. Do you know that?
I'm sure he does.
They live and die by the pollsters. Do you know that?
I know that Trump does. He uses all the good polls.
No, I'm not talking about the public polls. Listen to what I'm saying. He has internal polls.
Mm-hmm.
And so for us, it's a snapshot. But you're saying you can't live and die by polls. If you're running a campaign, you kind of need to live and die by polls. Because how else do you, as you would say, capture the zeitgeist? How do you capture the zeitgeist without a poll?
You capture the zeitgeist because remember, Trump's instinct, I think his instinct leads the zeitgeist, leads the I think Donald Trump.
His instincts are shaped by the polls. So you haven't read any data.
Not always. I don't think that's always true.
It is always
true. What he's doing with the Epstein. What he's doing with the Epstein files. Look what he did. He had to.
What he did.
He came.
Do you know today that one of the Trump January 6 people he pardoned was just arrested for child molestation?
I know, you just completely changing the topic.
I know I'm done with that topic. It's stupid.
What is going on?
Your mother's light skin.
If Trump was going by the polls, he wouldn't have came out so fervently against the Epstein file. But he did.
Really?
Yeah, but he switched.
Yeah, he switched at the very end because he didn't see that it worked. But he doesn't always run by the polls, is what I'm point. Your point was that whatever the poll says, he goes. Not true. Sometimes he thinks his political capital, based on his ability and how he won, he thinks he can try to change that in that instant it failed.
Yeah, so the Epstein thing is a very immaterial thing in the world. What I would put it on was the economy. So let me ask you a question. Do you think most Americans believe the economy is going well?
No. He's trying to change that narrative.
So, no, that's all I need you to ask. So you don't think most are doing well?
No, I don't think people think they are, but I think that in actuality they probably are. But because the narrative is in their head, it's hard to.
Wait a minute. So if I'm struggling to the narrative is in my head.
Right. Excuse me. Let me finish let me give you my perspective, and you can shoot it down. My perspective is a lot of people don't manage their funds correctly. A lot of people are very. I think because people, no matter how much money you give somebody, they're still going to misspend it if they don't have the right mindset.
That's a different discussion.
So my perspective is, you might disagree, is that I say the majority of people are horrible with managing their own money. So no matter how much money, no matter how much money they have, they're always, no matter how much money they have, they're going to misuse it and blame it on Trump.
So what if you lose your job? Wait a minute.
That's my belief.
So what about like rising unemployment? So if I'm out of my job, I got laid off. You're telling me I don't.
You bad with money.
Laid off.
No, I'm not talking about instances. Unemployment is one thing. I'm talking about people who are employed, who have money, misuse it, and blame Trump.
One second.
Blame anybody that's involved.
How are they blaming Trump?
So you're saying that prices and groceries and other goods, elastic and inelastic, are actually affordable for people?
I'm saying that no, those things you can judge objectively. I'm talking about the mindset of many Americans. Trump is trying to change that.
That's where people vote from.
It's a mindset.
I think it's almost an unavoidable thing.
Well, why did you backtrack on food tariffs the other day?
Because he's always claimed to be nimble. He's going to be nimble and move when he needs. He never said that whatever I do, I'm going to. Every solution he ever offers is always an impermanent solution.
Question again. I'm not asking the political calculation. I'm asking about affordability. If it was going as well as you said, why did you fall back on it? Is what I'm asking.
Because in those particular instances, pineapples, whatever those examples were, it wasn't working.
It was 100 items, bro.
Right. So in those 100 items, he switched up. But the other 5,000 items, it probably is working. I don't know.
Those are staples. So when we saw people that are on food bank lines, they don't really need to be on food bank lines. They just spend their money wrong. And so let me ask you.
I know a lot of people go to food bank lines who got money in there. Who got the refrigerator is full and they still go to the food bank.
You can't really have a conversation at a food bank. I'm talking about individuals. I'm talking about the 350 million people. The other thing, you said the economy was bad under Biden. Was that also could people spend? Did people have financial discipline then? And the economy was bad?
No, I think there's always an element of people who misuse their money and blame it on the president, no matter what they're doing. There's always that element in play.
You can go to more excuses, bro.
So I take your point, but let me ask you a question. Why is it lower now? So even if you control for the psychological benefit, why is it steadily getting lower?
Because the media continues to grab hold of this narrative that everything is horrible.
What
the media all over almost from soup to nuts, all the media it seems to be in unison. Most of the media outlets are claiming in unison that the economy is bad, prices are up, and no matter what the truth is, people get hearing. The zeitgeist is controlling the narrative rather than the reality.
Amazing.
So how can we get data on whether the economy is good or not? Like, where can we get that from?
Yeah, I'm not an economist. I don't know, but I could tell you from my perspective. I go to the supermarket. I don't look at the prices. I spend like a sailor.
Wait a minute, hold on. You don't look at prices since when?
I don't. I go there. I buy what I need to buy.
So you just said that
$17.95, and I'm not going to continue.
No, I'm talking. That's a different situation, Mama. I already told you about that situation.
So you don't look at the price.
I go to the grocery store. I need to get into the grocery carriage.
You don't pay attention to how much money you spend. You don't pay attention to how much money you spend. Is that what you just said? Other people.
I don't even look at the price tag.
Okay, forget groceries, whatever. What you implied earlier was that the reason people are fucked up the way they are is because they're irresponsible with their money. This is the notion. Wait, hold on. I've listened to you clearly. Now I'm serious. Earlier,
I'm not saying in all cases.
Hold on, sir. Listen. Let's be clear. People are hurting in this country. There are two economies. There's the wealthy, and then there's everybody else. People are struggling from paycheck to paycheck, not because they're fiscally irresponsible. It's because they're not making enough money. Their income won't allow them to move around, to do investments, to do other things. They go from point A to point B. That is what the problem is.
Mari, can you just teach that city how to loosen up his grip a little bit off of,
my friend is helping the brother out.
He knows he's messing this shit.
Man, Finney.
I am tired of listening to my opinion.
Oh, wait.
We're not gonna do that.
Okay, wait, one second. I just want to make sure that everybody is clear, including me, because I'm really the one that's confused. Maybe all of you are not confused, but I'm definitely confused. Is he saying that the people they're not bad off? It's just that they don't know how to spend their money correctly, and because there's a narrative that there's a finance problem out there that the people are buying into this narrative. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, we do have to spend their money, but
I think there's two truths. I think there's two truths. No matter how much money some people have, they're going to blame the truth. They're going to blame the president for their financial for the financial responsibility.
So like how people was doing in 2024, and they was blaming Biden, and he was talking about the inflation was going up, right?
Wait a minute. You got people what Robert just said. Robert said that there are legitimate people who cannot make ends meet. What I'm saying is,
and why can't they make ends meet?
So there are a number of factors. There's no one answer to that.
I'm listening. Give me one. Give me the top one that you think.
Huh?
What's the top one you think is the reason why people cannot afford it?
Yeah, name a few. My number one reason is always the person that's living the life. The choices that they make is the number one. The number one impact. And then
all I'm gonna say is 1795.
Wait, come on now. Come on, let's not do that. So there.
Man, Trinity, I just did a question for you, just super quick for you. Thank you.
Personal decisions is the number one
everything is
impact.
going so well. I do agree with that. Sorry, man. Take 1 minute.
You've been talking forever. You've been talking forever. I just.
Go ahead, man. Finish your point. Finish your point.
Real quick. So again, there are people who are legitimately in a position where their external factors, they're doing everything right, but the external factors are impacting them. That's what Robert just talked about. I'm talking about there's also a group of people who are in a position because of their own personal decisions. And I'm telling you, no matter how many polls you run, we'll never figure out what percentage of the pie is that. What percentage of the pie is that?
That's Donald Trump's fault.
Who's next?
He's called high inflation. A lot of this stuff is his fault. He's caused really, really high inflation. Let's be real. People are having problems putting food on the table. Survey done in this area 1 and 3. People have zero food on their table. That is embarrassing. That was a study that was done out here related to also they did analysis compared to the pandemic. Those numbers are upticked now, and I blame Donald Trump for that because there is no pandemic. And I'm sorry, but look, I mean, you got people coming through my line.
Is someone going to correct it in inflation that's flattened out? You guys used to correct other people.
Look here, man. Just give me a minute now. Look here, man. People cannot eat. They're coming to my line. We see the numbers because we're the ones having to buy the food. We're having to buy a lot more food now. We are at $1.2 million to buy food, whereas before we were below that mark, $875,000 below the $1.2 million mark to buy food. So even cost for us to buy food for more people, that goes up. Brother, I can only follow the numbers. I'm not sitting here lying to you and just telling you blabber, right? I see the sheets and stuff that come out, and we have to purchase that food by the tons. We're not just going shopping at your local Walmart. We're buying tons of food, and we see the cost, and the cost has ballooned. And some stuff that we pay for, brother, we have to pay tariffs on that. Aluminum cans and all the things that we have to buy, we have to now pay extra cost for that aluminum and the stuff that we have to buy to store the stuff. You're not getting it, brother, because you ain't buying food by the ton. But you don't see the sheets that print out. I do. So I see the people that come through my line. So you think I'm lying? You think I'm lying about what's on those sheets and them papers and them people standing there needing our help? I said, you said what? On the double.
No, you good, Captain. You good. So.
On the double. Not you good. What?
You good, Captain. Roger that. 10-4 over.
Brother,
You gotta be clear in what you're saying. Ain't no 10-4, ain't no over. Whatever you were saying, ain't no never mind. Because if it's something applicable to what's going on, if people are starving and hungry, you got to speak up. You can't sit there, you know what I mean, on your hands. You understand what I'm saying? You're not a chicken in a chicken coop sitting on eggs. Get up off your bum and make things happen for those who don't have anything. You got to do something. You can't sit there and let people have absolutely nothing. Give them a jacket. Give them some help.
I don't think he is. Did you ask him?
Asked him, he don't give a fuck. Everybody
show grace. Even if he doesn't, show some grace.
Ask him that, and they don't give a fuck. Anytime somebody goes behind Trump, honey, they look at Trump as God. MAGA looks at Trump as God. That's what they do, honey. They don't give a fuck.
They certainly do.
Who's speaking for MAGA?
Girl, hush. Everybody talking to your Taylor Park ass.
Gwen Stefani, how are you?
Taylor Park ass, girl. You are not.
Taylor Park ass. Are you gay?
What happened?
So.
Gwen Stefani, get some water, sir.
I got water. Don't you go get it. That was funny. Don't you go get it.
I want to read something to kind of piggyback on what Ashton said. When I'm not spending my time arguing with you, some of you wonderful people and some of you crackheads, I try to volunteer a lot. So this is from an organization I volunteer with called Baker Ripley House. And they do a lot, like health services, food services, community services, employment services, tax prep. These are emails we're getting. We're reaching out with urgency. Our community is facing a surge in food insecurity, and we need your support at our upcoming food distributions this month. The number of families seeking assistance continues to rise, and many are depending on these distributions to get through the Thanksgiving season. We're also getting emails that are saying that the number of families that they used to serve in the last few months has actually doubled. I'm also getting emails. My mom contributes to an organization. Their funding actually got cut earlier in the year, Q1 2025. So not only are they asking for additional funds because the Trump administration cut millions and millions of dollars from a lot of these charitable organizations. This is not a church, just a community organization, a lot of which are funded by the states, which are in turn funded by the Fed. So I just want people to understand these services have already been cut since the beginning of the year. And these are not people that are looking for handouts for their healthcare services. You have to have insurance or you have to pay, so this is not like low income. Think like solid middle class. I volunteer for the tax prep. You take these courses, you help people do their taxes. So people that are making $50, $60, $70, $80, $90,000, depending on how many people in their household, they are struggling. And this is a problem because they can't go and get food stamps because they don't qualify for it. So they're depending more and more on volunteers. So for all of you Trumpers, this is absolutely what you voted for. We keep forgetting that Trump made significant cuts to these budgets in the beginning of the year, and they are still making additional cuts as we go on. I'm attending a lot of City of Houston budget meetings. Houston, it has a $250 million budget shortfall. And what they're informing us, and I've said this in the space before, that they find out at the same time as everybody else, which is pretty much via a tweet or a news article, that additional funding is not going to be coming from the federal government. That is impacting all areas of city, county, and state budgets, just FYI. So I want to take this opportunity to say thank you, MAGA. I love to volunteer.
Wait, guys, if you could 1 second, I've been waiting just a minute here to ask Manfinity, and thank you, Nikki, for sharing that. Manfinity, were you around? Did you hear anything Nikki just shared with us?
Actually, didn't receive it.
Cool. So if you did, does it sound? Does anything she just said? Well, I agree with you. There's plenty of people that have plenty of financial resources that squander them away. That's a reality. However, what she just shared with us, does that sound? Are those
You're getting
the results? Are those the consequences of just people that don't know how to manage their own money, and the fact that they chose not to disclose the job reports, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think first time in over 10 years. Are these the symptoms and consequences of people who don't know how to spend their money right?
No, I think, like I said, I think there's an element of people who are doing everything right, but they're being impacted unfairly by external factors. But then you have people who commit their own financial sins in their own life, and then they blame it on whoever's in charge, Biden, Trump, whoever else. What I'm saying is, no matter how many statistics and polls you run, we'll never be able to know how many of that pie is being affected by external factors only versus the others who are being impacted by their own financial irresponsibility. So what I'm saying is, when Trump comes out there and he makes this, like, injecting into the zeitgeist that we're doing well, I think it wakes people up who are not the ones who are being impacted by the externals, but the people who are being irresponsible. I think it wakes them up. And when you have a certain mindset, then you're not afraid to spend money. Like me, again, I go to the store, I buy what I want to buy, I leave, I don't pay, I don't. And maybe that's my own privilege. We don't got to focus on me, but my point is, there's a lot of people out here who are just financially irresponsible, and they want to blame Biden and Trump and whoever else.
Okay, therefore you can't trust polls.
Real quick.
You cannot trust polls.
Real quick. I speak to the people at these food banks and on these lines. Let me tell you something. These people are honest, hardworking, and they're very practical. They don't want to be on no food bank line. They're not coming over there all fucked up and downtrodden with an ignorant mentality. They're our families. They're working people. They want food. They're just coming out there because they want some food so they can prepare. They go to work. They do what they got to do. They need food. And so let's not make it seem like the people on these lines are just some like irresponsible lowlifes. These are like, God, I suggest you go out on a food line. When you see a food line, go over there and talk to the people, human engagement, and see what I'm talking about, bro. So this notion that you're talking about, man, yeah, there's some lazy people in all of our culture. Yeah, we get it. But the majority of the folks who need food are honest, hardworking people. It's not a bunch of lowlifes like you're implying, like, with that.
Bro, I'm not speaking my law. I know there's some people who got bridges in them. Listen, I know I sound like you, but stop listening to what I sound like. Listen to what I'm actually saying.
That's what you said.
I'm saying, excuse me, no. What I'm saying is, I know people, not just one or two. I know people who have a fridge full of fruit and still go to the food bank line.
Yeah, that is you. You know a bunch of lowlives. I am sorry, man.
Let me finish.
You know a bunch of lowlives who take advantage of the system.
People who have turkeys who still line up in the turkey giveaway line.
You know the lowlives. All this food with your anecdote is that you know about lowlives. That's all, man.
I'm not going along with the lie.
You know a bunch of lowlives. I am sorry for you.
But I'm going to wake up to the truth. I don't know.
Manfinity, you know a bunch of lowlives. Obviously, tell me who you surround yourself with, and it says a lot about you. Because the rest of us don't know people who are actually, if their food is fully stocked and they actually go in a bread line. That's a fact that belongs only to you.
You don't know. I think the worst part of his submission is about not being able to trust polls because of people being derelict in their personal duties. Like, what the hell?
Can someone tell me why China's at a deflation right now? Like, what is the cause of China's deflation?
Don't try to deflect, Omari. We ain't talking about China now.
That's way more.
That's a whole other conversation. We ain't got
let's examine.
Our resident China expert is not in the room right now.
Everybody in the country deserves to eat. Period.
Yeah, why not talk about China?
You deserve to eat if you make the right decisions in life.
Don't let man finish the conversation.
Everybody deserves to eat.
Hang on, man. Thank you, Nefertiti. Go ahead, Ty.
I really do. In all honesty, as rich as our country is, everybody deserves to eat. There should not be a hungry motherfucker or a child in this country, period. There's enough food to go around, period.
Yeah, what if
nobody should go to
have the system.
I don't give a fuck about the system. We don't have a fuck about constant. This is about motherfuckers who need access and shitting on people who don't have, or they work jobs that don't pay as much as you do. Everybody deserves to eat. Period.
So I agree with you, Ty. Theoretically, I agree with you.
Make it
The
less than
problem is that you cannot, what you
deserves
don't want to
money.
deal with.
Fuck that.
I agree with you.
Every household in the country.
I agree with you, bro. But what you don't want to deal with is that we don't have the
China
systems.
fell 14%.
We don't have I wasn't done speaking. I wasn't even finished.
Somebody else besides you talk, bro.
He's so ready to respond.
Come on, man, Fetty, we don't have to hear you, bro.
Damn, this is he got money for healthcare.
Hold on, JD. You gotta focus on the infinity.
I already told you I got tired of Mad Finney a long time.
In the words
Because he just said, he just
money
talks.
for war became
It's like a wood fucking solid.
we bailed out whole ass countries. Like Tupac said, we got money for war, we can't feed the poor. Get the fuck out of here.
I agree with that sentiment, but you're not dealing with the reality.
It ain't sentiment.
Not dealing with the reality either, dude.
The reality is that this country does not have this.
That's your reality.
No, the reality is
How could that be reality?
the reality is
People voted for you. Speak to your reality, bro.
Found out. You won't even let me say it. People voted for Trump.
They fucked around.
Every time I start to talk, I'll shut it down.
No, because you're talking the most and you didn't say
scared
shit.
of the truth. Every time I speak,
Yeah,
I
more
speak
truth.
You can't take it.
Are you done reading the Bible? You need to really continue reading the Bible.
See what I'm saying? You can't even deal with the truth. You gotta talk about the
Why
Bible.
come men if any don't consider billionaire companies bailouts?
I wasn't even talking.
Because they know how to, according to Mad Finney, they know how to manage their money. Everybody, the economy is horrible.
How is banks getting bailouts managing money?
So you didn't get to hear my response.
Did y'all Did y'all talk about Trump moving K through 12 to the Department of Labor?
Listen,
Oh my God, for real?
They don't understand.
Yeah. He said that he's going to move into the Department of Labor.
Maybe he needs to fuck up education so we can finally fix it.
Wait, speaking of education, did y'all see what he said about nursing as well?
No. What did he say?
So the Department of Education aims to limit student loans for nursing graduate students after removing nursing from professional degree category. How can he do that? You know,
nurses.
This is another direct assault on Black women. Like,
They know they love those degrees.
No, that's not being an assault on Filipino women.
No, it's also because on Black. Like, do y'all know how terrible that is to remove nursing as a professional degree? Like, what the fuck? I don't understand how he can do all this dumb shit.
He's a good man.
I don't think he knows what's going on.
Exactly. So he shouldn't be president.
K through 12 moving to Department of Labor as Trump accelerates. Wait, I just shared it to my story. God damn it, move.
Breaking news, Rasnov just put in the chat.
Okay, and then what else, since y'all want to argue this goofy stuff with, Goofy over here? Did you hear about this now? Wait a minute. NASDAQ announced its intent to launch a Dallas-based financial exchange named NASDAQ.
Yeah, we heard about
what
that.
the fuck is going on?
And they're gonna do
Have you heard about this?
So did you hear about the Fed on the
The
exchange?
NASDAQ exchange, not the complement to the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ exchange.
Which one they want to do? I know they want to they want to change.
No, they've already opened up the other exchange. This is the NASDAQ.
NASDAQ is doing it too now.
Yeah, this is a different one. So now we're going to have similar exchanges in Dallas like we do in New York, which is interesting.
I wonder if any company is going to IPO in those exchanges.
Well,
of course.
Absolutely. Exactly.
I'm said he wanted to punish New York. I mean,
because all the big banks are in New York.
Texas is slowly coming. Texas will be the new. Have a new Gotham City. They're gonna be in Texas.
Yeah, right. Texas economy is about to crash anyway, so y'all could go up and hit that.
Why is Texas economy about to crash?
Texas has a budget surplus annually. Emma, what are you talking about?
There's a difference between government revenue and the actual economy of the state.
Can we get numbers?
Texas are literally starving.
I just told
Ashton,
y'all.
how many people are on your bread line? Have your bread line increased? Number of people on it?
Look, I understand that, but I'm saying, you know, the state's the second richest state in the country.
Listen here, what's
causing economic turmoil for the people? What is that? What's happening? Are jobs moving out? What's going on? That's the only reason.
Texas went for a period now where the jobs, compared to inflation, no longer pays somebody to live in Texas because they depress wages so much that now people cannot afford to buy a house. They used to be able to afford to buy a house. So therefore, that's displacing a lot of people. That's why a lot of people are moving out of Texas right now. And Florida.
It's cheaper to go than Texas.
It's not really cheaper. It's not really cheaper, Organic. You have to make enough money in order to live in the state you live in. So I could move to they could move to Chicago and make 10 times the same amount of money, but their rent's gonna go up like 10 times the same amount. But they're still able to afford rent. But in Texas, they're making 10 times less, and rent is 10 times less, and they still can't afford
so where are they gonna go?
The money they make.
Where are they gonna go?
There's so many other places to go in America.
So the issue is going to be that this person in Texas is not making enough money in Texas. They're going to go somewhere else where they're going to make more money, right? Obviously, that money, wherever that place is going to have a stronger economy than Texas. We know which states those are. It's going to be Florida, not strong.
No, Florida.
That would be California. That would be New York, right? So if they were to move there, they ain't going to be able to afford to buy a house?
No, not necessarily for the
so where are they gonna go? Is the question.
Organic.
My name is Concrete. Concrete Plus. Organic. The question is where are they gonna go?
Concrete. They could go on multiple states. You guys are acting like you can't move to state. Concrete. You gotta go ask them where they want to move to.
No, you brought it to the table.
You're asking me a
question.
Which state you think they should move to? I can answer that question.
Go ahead. Try that one too.
Concrete, how's your Trump impersonation voice? Is it good?
Probably not.
I don't want that.
Breaking news. Who is a good Trump voice?
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Give me one second.
Go ahead, Devon.
I got a brother of mine, we grew up together. He's not a physical brother, but a close friend. We grew up together. He was in Florida for years. He just called me the other day. He's coming back to New York. He's looking for an apartment to rent. So that is in alignment with what ML just said.
Yeah, but that's a unique, unorthodox case that needs more context in order for us to understand what's going on. Because we all know,
I'm giving you a real life
market. It's head above.
Okay, he can't afford to buy a house, but he's willing to come back because guess what? He's probably going to make more money here where he could probably afford to pay rent. He needs to get out of Florida. It's not for him anymore.
All right, so again, this is like bereft of context, so it's hard to make an assessment about what's going on. But
this is what's going on.
Texas. Bro, he could be moving back for cultural reasons, social reasons, all sorts of reasons.
Each state has different industries, so it depends on what you do to make your money. So that plays a big part that people tend to overlook. Because all industries don't aim in every state.
Oh my God, did y'all see this? I know y'all talked about this already. The U.S. may deny visas to those with obesity, cancer, and diabetes.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, that's old news.
In the chat, Trump signed the bill.
But listen, here's the thing that I need the Trumpers in here to understand or to answer. When there's all this bullshit about nativism, FBA, we hate immigrants. Why is you voting for a president who is advocating for whites only, South Africans, to come to the United States and get all the fucking welfare benefits that you hate Americans to get? You're giving it to the goddamn immigrants who are not even from our country.
Yeah, because we don't like you.
Somebody please answer that.
The white South Africans that are experiencing hardship.
I don't give a fuck about their experience.
Monica, have you ever been to South Africa? Do you know what's going on there? So shut up.
I thought they were seeking asylum.
Do you have any numbers or data
Why you
to substantiate your claim on
black
it?
people
No.
that are seeking the fight in other countries?
Yeah, all that shit happened in Nigeria. Guess what? They didn't open the borders for them.
Trump is intervening for the Christian Nigerians.
Well, how about the Sudanese that's dying in West Sudan? Why did I drop her?
No, she's still up there.
Oh!
So Mark, I don't know, cause Priggy, you be fucking her up. That's what you get.
Hands off that white women, ML.
Priggy, you just be God help us.
It's really sad what happened to Dennis Prager. I got some information about him recently.
We don't want to know about Monica. Whatever happened to him was obviously befitting him.
He slipped
It was coming.
getting out of the shower and broke
Because he's an
his
evil man.
neck.
What
And
else?
he's a paraplegic now.
Yes, I know he's and I guess what? I'm indifferent.
Guess
I don't
what?
care.
Guess
I don't
what?
care. I don't
Guess
care.
what?
Exactly.
Guess what?
We don't care.
Do you understand about karma? Do you
We don't
understand
care.
about
Exactly. He's my Exactly.
I don't celebrate.
Hey, Monica, karma busted his ass.
I don't celebrate karma busting for my fellow American.
Jeffrey Epstein, Trump, this is what Trump tweeted tonight. Jeffrey Epstein, who was charged by the Trump Justice Department in 2018, not the Democrats, was a lifelong Democrat, donated thousands of dollars to Democrat politicians, and was deeply associated with many well-known Democrat figures, such as Bill Clinton, who traveled on his plane at least 26 times, Larry Summers, who just resigned from many boards, including Harvard, sleazebag political activist Reid Hoffman, minority leader Hakeem Jeffries, who asked Epstein to donate to his campaign after Epstein was charged. Democrat Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, and many more. Perhaps the truth about these Democrats and their associates with Jeffrey Epstein will soon be revealed, because I have just signed the bill to release the Epstein files. As everyone knows, as Speaker of the House, Michael Johnson, and Senate Marjorie, I can't even say it.
Marjorie Trader Green.
Wait a minute, I can't see it.
Majority leader.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't see it because I was looking at it on TV, and there's
What do you say?
Let her finish.
I mean, I can't finish it because I can't read that.
Thank you.
Red letters live, CNN in front of it.
So that means they're gonna redact all the Republican names out of the report and they release Democratic names.
We knew that.
And then the cover up, somebody's gonna expose that there was a cover up, and the shit's gonna hit the fan. That's what's gonna happen.
Correct.
Well, y'all asked for it. I told y'all to leave him alone. So I didn't want to do that.
Please. He know his ass in the Epstein family.
But they have a way to cover it up. If you think they was going to do that, then you got another thing coming. The only thing that would happen, huh?
How much more can he cover up? He can cover up with so much. The shit
They doing it right now. They're going to redact the name out of it.
Please.
They're just going to pull out all the Democrats. I'm not going to argue with.
Listen, first lady, you know this just as well as I do. Trump is a lousy, he's an uneducated real estate agent. That's what he is. That's what they voted for. We didn't vote for that.
And I'm with Dr. AG just put in the chat. He's hyping the release of these files because he's also calling for investigations into the files.
To the flood.
At the same time. So everyone thinks, see, he's releasing them, so he's innocent. Look, he want to release them. Then, in the same breath, he's calling for these investigations that could possibly hold up the files from being released.
Exactly. Nailed it.
Yeah, well,
or he can just release them and still have the investigation. That can happen as well.
No.
If there's an active investigation, they cannot, because that information will then.
No judge will do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it might hinder the investigation moving forward.
Omari.
But there's no actual record. There's nothing in
Omari.
You want to have a conversation with me, ML, not you.
Not ML, but one L. I want to talk to one L, not ML.
Move him down for that. Jesus.
So Omari, keep the day job.
He wants to talk to me, ML.
We have this conversation with Marga, and they talk about the bill. The fact is that the President of the United States ran on a promise to release the Epstein files. He, by himself, solely could have done that. And he didn't.
Couldn't, ML.
Yes, he could.
No, he couldn't.
Yes.
It's sealed records.
No.
There's no investigation going. There's still victims, right? There was a victim that actually wrote to the judge and said she does not want it released. Her family doesn't know what's going on. Like,
I'm saying the president could have released the file.
Like that. No, he could have.
Yes. Okay. I will post a link showing that the president can release. Coming from
the president release sealed files.
Yes.
Go on mute, ML. Patty's talking. She's trying to educate you.
The president can release the files.
Post it. Just like when y'all talking about DOJ redacting certain names, they can't just redact Republicans and keep Democrats on there.
Yeah, it's a human doing it. It's an individual.
Oh my God. And guess what will end up happening?
Somebody's gonna time will tell.
No, it's not. If it get released and it just has Republicans' name, Democrats' name, what's gonna end up happening? Like, make it make sense. That shit's not legal. Y'all just be saying anything. Just because you don't like the motherfucker don't mean.
No, Patty, listen. Patty, I listened to a lawyer, a podcast or a renowned lawyer, Harvard educated lawyer, who talked about that. He said the president could have always released the file, and he went into detail.
Okay.
So I'm gonna finally prove to you that I'm just not saying this because I'm just saying. I'm saying because actually I've heard it and read it that the president could have released the file without Congress.
See, you just should stay on mute and let one L talk.
Take him down, please.
Right here, New York Times. Trump has the power to release the Epstein files. Hold on. I'm going to post the article. Trump has the power to release the Epstein files with or without Congress. From the New York Times. Dated, I don't know if you guys have access to New York Times. I have a subscription. November 17th. Written by Luke Broadwalker, reporting from Washington. He just wrote that. You guys can Google it. Oh, and I can even play it too.
Wait, post it in the chat.
Jay, have your man say your man to lower his voice. Tell him to lower his voice.
You cannot release the entire files. The only thing you can release. No.
It's under investigation.
No, that's not what she's saying.
That is what
Okay, this is what I said initially. I said initially, Omari, Trump ran on releasing the Epstein file. Trump could have always released the Epstein file without Congress. That's what I said.
No. You cannot, period.
Yes, you can,
Bonnie. You can't. Look up court seal records. You cannot release anything that's court sealed. You
That's
cannot.
a different thing. You guys, so how much of the records are
But
court
Epstein's files aren't all released.
So how
Nothing are court sealed is what people want to see.
Yes. But the problem is,
but you cannot. He can't just.
You're only court sealed if you have a case.
Dude, he can't just. No, I said court sealed. Period. And that's what people want to see. They want to see who all the names are, who are all these people, who are the victims, what has happened. The whole entirety of the case is most of that case is sealed. That shit is not going to get released without a judge.
Hold on, I think
I am going to post the article, and you guys
can post the article. You can post the article.
Hold on, Patty. Let me ask Patty. I'm gonna ask you a question, right? I'm just asking, right? If the case was classified, if he declassified the case, right? Would he have had the power to then release the file? I'm asking Patty.
Correct. If it's classified material,
that's what I'm asking.
It can declassify.
That's what. Right.
That's all I'm asking. The court document has nothing to do with being.
No. But that's the only direction I'm going with it. You know where I'm going.
I don't know if there's confusion. I'm just retarded.
I think that's where, that's the direction I'm going with it.
It's the simple shit that we got that we should know. And I think like we can have a hate for the person, but at the same time we gotta be honest about some of this shit.
Right, because that's where I think the confusion for me is coming in, because there's a difference between a classified and a declassification of a file versus an actual sealed record, and there's a difference, and I think that's where I think the confusion's coming in, because if hold on, ML, if it's a classified file, he could declassify it, but if it's a sealed file in an active case, there's a difference, ML, and I think that's the problem, is the verbiage. Because Patty had to correct me the other day, and she was right. And I think sometimes the verbiage gets skewed sometimes. So I'm just coming in to try to help with the verbiage. And I think sometimes with these reporters, they will report things based on certain stuff, and they get the verbiage wrong. And they will write it in layman's terms, and they don't get it right to the public.
Okay, listen, I know what you guys are saying, but I didn't get this information just from this article, because this article was probably on the 17th. I got this information from a bunch of really renowned lawyers who were talking about it on a podcast.
Well, they want to prison if they got access to
exactly. They're saying that.
Listen, the only thing that's going to actually be released, right? So, for example, when Virginia went to court, some of the stuff that she got unsealed, those are considered part of her civil law documents, right? Little civil law documents. Those will get released. What happened in fucking Florida, that may be released. Like if it's sealed by a judge, if you think that there is no separation.
I mean,
there is no fucking separation. So everything that I learned in junior high and high school, I need to throw that shit out the door.
First of all, there are still documents, like from the grand jury. Presidents cannot, like if I've been indicted.
Did you read the article, Gold?
We can do. It's not an article. It's how grand juries work.
No, I'm asking about the article from New York Times. Did you read it? The one I just posted.
That article is being
because none of you guys are lawyers.
It's vague.
None of you guys are lawyers.
Things that
I read it from lawyers, not from you guys. From lawyers.
And you got it. You're right, bro. Do a Google search and look up sealed documents. Look how the documents were released under JFK or even under.
You guys post an article that says he cannot do it because I posted an article where it says he can't. He can't.
It does not say he can unseal documents from grand jury investigations.
Listen, the article literally said Trump has to. You see, you adding a context to it. The fact is that
and that's what we're talking about.
Said that.
Nobody give a fuck about that black book or no goddamn
I said initially. Okay, I'm done.
I don't give a fuck about that goddamn
That's what they both been saying.
Yes, but you listen. You guys have moved, and I
said. No, we never moved.
I always said that. I said
you just have to be right about the conversation. The things I want to see is sealed. So I don't give a fuck about the extra shit.
Well, based off of ML, based off what ML is saying, when he signs the bill, everything will be released.
No, I didn't say that.
I don't think everything's gonna be released.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Everything will be released.
Go the same way we were saying that if there are pending cases against any of the people that are in those files, that particular sections of the release will not be released.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, but that's not my point. My point is from the get-go, I made a specific claim. I said, listen, Trump could have always released the Epstein files without Congress. That's what I said. And you guys added caveats to it.
Yeah, I said he can't release all of them.
Yes, I can agree. Yes, I said that.
No, you
I know that.
Look, you kept arguing it. Talking about your friend, a lawyer, a renowned lawyer.
I listened to a bunch of lawyers who say,
do you think I'm a block chick? You think I don't know how to read? What's going on? I don't think that. I may not know everything, but I know a little bit about basics. And I was talking about fucking CO5. I don't give a fuck about unclassified information. Most of that shit has been unclassified. They've used it for fucking, they had to use it for some people to get these civil litigations going. I don't care about that. If I want to see anything, I want to see the seal pass, bro.
So none of us know which files are sealed in that because there's no pending cases. I wasn't trying to get.
But there doesn't have to be a pending case. There only have to be a pending case.
There are pending cases.
It don't have to be a pending case, and you really don't even know if there's pending cases. Sometimes there are still investigating people when people don't even fucking know.
That's what I was saying. That's not even true.
And that's pretend nobody being in
I know that. I've already said that. Yes, except for the ones who actually have pending cases. But my initial claim was that yes, Trump could have released the files, regardless of the ones who are not. He could have released the files.
That's not even true.
That is true.
No, it's not.
Read the article.
I don't care about the article. I don't give a fuck if it's New York Times, if it's the fucking Oxford. I don't give a fuck who it is. The bottom line of it is, unless, and I'm going to say this, unless it's a classified document and he is the president that is literally unclassifying a document, he does not have jurisdiction to literally unseal a case. There's a difference between unclassifying a document and unsealing a case, and that's where we're literally like juxtaposing these situations. A president cannot unseal a case. He is not a lawyer. He doesn't have judicial, what you call it? He doesn't have judicial powers. You're right. He doesn't have judicial powers. Right. He doesn't have judicial powers. He doesn't have judicial powers. What the fuck is he talking about? Why are you talking like this?
Enough! Chill back.
Lady.
Damn. Y'all always gotta make this into an argument. One person at a time.
Can I just correct Rez? That's all I.
Go ahead.
I appreciate you, First Lady, the First Lady. You said he's not. You said he's not a lawyer, Rez. You mean a judge? Only a judge can unseal.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you said a lawyer, but I'm not trying to.
I didn't say a lawyer. I said he doesn't have judicial powers.
No, you just said. That's the only reason
I meant to say judge.
There you go, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay. I just wanted to make sure they knew that.
I'm saying he doesn't have judicial powers.
Let me read This is grand jury roadblock, 70 pages that won't be released ever. Even if the DOJ releases every unclassified file, one major category of records is permanently off limits: the sealed Epstein materials. In August, a federal judge ruled that approximately 7 pages of federal grand jury records must remain sealed, regardless of what Congress passes, because grand jury secrecy rules are controlled by the judiciary, not lawmakers.
Thank you.
So it makes sense.
He doesn't have judicial powers. He has executive powers.
Let me hear from Trent.
I'll go after Trent. Go ahead, Trent.
I was going to say something very simple. ML, in essence, is right. There are multiple lawyers who have talked about this, and basically, what I'm hearing is that somehow the president doesn't have the same power as the attorney general, which is not like.
Hold on, he said as a judge.
Yeah, I get it.
No. You said attorney general. She said as a judge.
Yeah,
He does not have. That's literally the Constitution. Article 2, Article 3.
Yeah, okay.
The attorney general is in Article 2.
Yeah,
so no one is arguing the president doesn't have the power of the attorney general. They're arguing he doesn't have the power of judges. Don't come up here to change words to make it an argument. You literally just heard what Patty read. Deal with that.
Yeah, or whatever.
It's all whatever your ass is doing. Did you hear what he said? Hold on, Devon. Did y'all hear what he said? Oh, well, basically, I hear people saying he's not the attorney general. That's not what Patty just read. That's not what you read. Because you have a dumb point, you were going to make it regardless of what you heard. Stay in the glue, ho. Don't bring him.
So I wanted to read something really quick. It says, associates who have ties to Democrats, associates of Epstein, critics suggest might be a tactic to withhold certain documents under the, quote,
ongoing investigation exemption in the bill. But not only that, understand what's being released. It says Justice Department Epstein files, right? So this is what's being released. Just what the Justice Department has. So I just wanted to point out that stipulation.
Whatever's been unclassified that we have.
Oh my God. This is
What the government did corrupt.
Is that Barnett?
just don't understand how we are giving the executive the same powers as the judicial. Like, where is the separation between the three branches now? Like, this is crazy. Where are we going as a country?
Whereas it's the president can release files part of the executive branch. DOJ falls under the president.
Oh my God!
That's why we want you to add that stipulation, bro. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. They're all files. Regardless if they're in the judicial process, they're DOJ files.
We're not talking about files. We're not talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I said hours. Yeah, because this is getting ridiculous. That's not what I'm talking about. You're giving him the same. I'm talking about the powers of a judge. He cannot unseal. He can't unseal records. He's not a judge. What are we talking about? He can't stop. He can't. Oh my God! Like, this shit is crazy.
Can we change the subject? Can we move to another subject?
So listen, it says that the president can release all material created and held by the executive branch agencies, including DOJ, FBI, and DHS.
Okay.
You guys act like the people I was listening to a bunch of people on Clubhouse.
We know what unclassified documents.
We don't talk about this. Is all classified documents.
Classified and unclassified fucking documents.
No,
that's not what I said.
You originally came off and said he could release all the files. That's what you said.
I said he could release the Epstein files, barring those obviously on investigation. Okay. I did clarify that. No, I did clarify that. That's why I said, what does the title of the article that I posted, what does it say?
You're being like that right now.
So you're telling me files that deal with Epstein, people that aren't in the Justice Department, those don't count as Epstein files to people? Obviously, when you say Epstein files, no one's thinking of those that are separated in between the branches. When I was earlier, I said you wrong. You literally said you released the Epstein file.
Listen. The president of the United States is the top classification authority over everything. Hold on.
That's a complete
Hold on. Unlike you guys, I could provide proof if you go to the National Archive. They'll tell you. I can provide proof to exactly what I'm saying. Hold on. Let me finish.
You guys just got to win because this is like.
No, I'm not trying to win.
You are trying to win. ML. I made one fucking statement. And instead of just.
No, I'm not trying to win. I'm done.
ML.
You guys won. I'm done.
ML. Something as simple as the word sealed went over your fucking head, and all you wanted to talk about is document. Do you know there's certain part of those dispositions? We're not even talking about only grand jury. There's certain parts of those dispositions that will never be fucking released to us.
Hold on, Trent. Are you saying that Donald Trump has the power to release every file related to Jeffrey Epstein?
And you're on mute.
He said he was done. He said he was done.
That's what I thought.
So, what else is going on today, Patty?
Well, the government's corrupt anyway. When people hear Epstein files, they don't hear.
You've been trying to change the subject for the last 5 minutes.
When people hear Epstein files, they don't think, oh, it's only in this branch versus that branch. And by the way, even stuff in DOJ won't be released.
Facts.
Do you think once these files are released that the country can now rest?
No.
What do you mean by rest? The country can now rest if the files are reviewed.
yet to be heard.
What? You think the victims can rest? Oh, maybe.
Hang on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer.
Somebody gonna come and take you home. All right, I'm done with this.
I actually did come to talk about something important real quick.
Breaking news from Trenton Report.
It's coming from multiple news sources that no, I ain't talking about aliens yet. Aliens are next week or in 2 days, John. About 24 hours from now, I'll be talking about aliens and nothing but it. But more importantly, it is now being relayed that Trump is considering issuing an executive order and related to artificial intelligence development that will preempt all state law. And any state that does not participate could lose federal funding. Being reported by multiple sources. There's the CEO. I was looking for the CEO. I'm sure you just saw it hit the presses. This has always been the reason why Peter Thiel, Musk, and other technocrats supported Trump. I actually support Trump in this. I believe that we have to get rid of AI state laws for development to keep up with China and other nation states as it's developing. You have to have a single law. You can't have multiple states that have different laws. But that is for me, that's probably. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys don't care.
Well,
AI has to be.
Yeah, I disagree with you, Trent, only because it will be written by.
Can you explain it though? Because he's not explaining it.
Okay,
Can you please explain it?
Yeah. So one of the things that held up, the thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene said she didn't read, and a lot of Republicans in the House said they didn't read, was this clause that said AI regulations would only be federal and every state had to comply. So they basically shifted it back that each state could have her own AI regulations. And the reason why is because everybody knows if it's federal, it will be California. So basically all the big tech players in California will set the policy for the entire nation because they have the lobby, the resources, the connections to drive the entire agenda. And that's problematic for states who, may see it differently. Having it state by state requires better policy to be made because you have to be more persuasive and you're going to have to convince more people. It's a way to slow it down. It slows AI down.
That's not entirely it, CEO. For once, I actually disagree with you. Each state, Montana's got one of the toughest laws in terms of biometric security and the way your information is passed. And so as we're developing these things, because people cross state lines, we need one. We can't have Illinois have a law and Washington has a law and California has a law, and they're all different things. It makes it very difficult, trust me, very difficult to comply with all the communication laws within these states. So in the basis, in essence, what CEO is saying, I agree with, but it's beyond that. Originally, it was supposed to be in the big beautiful bill, and that was a huge piece for the tech sector that would nullify all these laws and make it very easy to do this. So this reporting just coming out again. I'm going to be honest with you. I totally support this, but this is going to be news breaking to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the policy should be difficult to set. It should require conversation. It should require a lot of persuasion. So that's why I like it, because you have to write better policy to get all the states to be on board with it.
I guess the policy
should be written by people who actually know what AI is and what it can do, and not these 83-year-old dinosaurs who ask if it's connected to the internet.
What are they regulating?
They want to get rid of it. It sounds like they want to stop states from regulating, so that everything is just one uniform regulation. Whatever they choose to regulate.
So this is about California's bill. So this is really about California's bill. Let me. So what happened was during the big beautiful bill conversation happened. Marsha Blackburn led the effort to get it out of the bill. Why? Because she's running for governor of Tennessee, and as she knows she's running for governor, her home state had a bill on AI. But what this particular bill is about, or this executive order from the president, and also there was an article earlier this week in Punch Bowl about the House. The Congress considering the same thing, not just the president, but the Congress would consider a similar measure. And it's because California has been the first major state to implement an AI bill, and that's really that's sort of major in the way that it will require other states to sort of follow suit, as California often does. And so this is what this is about. It's really the moratorium. Ted Cruz in the Senate was against the moratorium. Was for the moratorium. It was his measure in the big beautiful bill, and he and Marsha Blackburn actually sort of fell out. There are many articles about them falling out as a result of it.
What exactly within the AI bill?
Yeah, we keep saying California because it's not just California. I mean, that's why Marjorie Taylor.
What are they trying to regulate?
California, but
Texas has one of the toughest ones, and I'm trying to explain the math.
But wait, do you work in AI? Do you work in tech? I'm just asking.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. Ford is a tech company. That's how they describe themselves.
He looks at innovative products that are technology focused for Ford to innovate. He looks at new products. What are we doing?
Oh,
you don't think Ford has tech products that they look at and decide whether or not they're going to innovate with those?
Because I know that's not how Ford describes themselves. That doesn't mean that they don't do technology.
Yeah, they have an innovation division.
Okay, I know
you
guys
love the product.
I know you guys love the name. And someone who actually works in tech, you want to shoot them down. Gotcha.
No, but you're saying he doesn't work in tech, he works in innovation.
I get it. I'm done.
I know I'm trying to down with you. Just correct you. You were attacking what he did.
You both work in tech.
Because he was in the marketing. I was talking ass. All I did was ask. All I did was ask the question.
Ford's a technology company. I didn't know that.
And because that's not how they describe them. That's not how they describe themselves.
Boy, he can answer back.
It's really confusing, but y'all got it. Y'all, this is how this room goes. I got it. That's why I normally.
No, your mama, your input is always we crack.
No, you had good input on the AI thing. You had good input.
But CEO has to defend all the resident GOP people.
Can somebody explain to me what they're trying to regulate?
I'll explain it, Matt, real quick. So different states have different laws as mainly into like facial recognition and how biometric information is transmitted. Texas, we actually have one of the toughest ones. Remember, Kim Paxton sued Google recently, and I think he got like a $1.8 billion settlement. But all these states, Montana, there's a lot of different places they all have.
Hey, where's Elon building his at? In Texas, right?
I don't know. I think the AI part is in Tesla in California.
No, Tennessee.
Yeah. Well,
he's also building something in Texas. That's
but it doesn't matter. Wherever the data center doesn't matter. It is laws in which we have tried to, and your mama's just as valid to speak as I am. I've had to look at all these laws very recently.
Answer the question because I'm trying to get the listen for the answer.
I just don't know what they're regulating.
They're regulating rectally. Yeah, they're regulating what we can transfer about you. from state to state, and it has to do with privacy laws and what we can share.
And that, but generally that's already in line when it comes to Google selling information and
Matt,
Yeah.
you let him finish because you're not
I'm sorry.
an expert.
I'm asking fucking questions. That's all
not a
I'm doing.
question. You're making a statement.
What's going on? I just.
Matt, is there some shit? Matt, what do you think you can talk to a black man that way? What's wrong with you?
I don't know. That's a prejudiced comment. It's a racist comment.
You cursed at him.
I'm just trying to get an answer.
Let me tell you.
You made it racial.
So watch your mouth.
You're a racist. Quit being so racist.
Well, no, you're a racist bitch. You don't talk to black
Don't
men.
be racist. We'll be okay.
Boy,
Don't be racist. We'll be good.
he's not a little boy, bitch.
Don't be
He's a
racist.
man. You will address him as such.
Don't be racist.
You racist.
Don't be
Hi,
racist.
Pocket.
I haven't heard the cut word in a long time. Shout out to you.
He is a freaking punk.
Hey, Marshall.
You're a beautiful kind of dad.
Yeah,
You're
just
not.
a reminder, everybody drink your water, stay hydrated. If you're hungry, lonely, tired, or
Yeah,
thirsty.
we're not interested in you.
Matt,
You think you can come on the stage and talk to black people as if they're slaves? How dare you?
never mind. This guy not. This
Not Jacob.
The reason it's not on camera is because you're letting this white bitch disrespect black people. That's why. And someone has to say something. Your ancestors had to deal with these kinds of indignities, and they had no recourse. And they're going to let this white asshole speak to a grown black man like that. It's unthinkable. And this needs to stop. He needs to learn how to respect black people when he is speaking to them. And he should not be cursing at a black man who has not cursed at him.
I actually agree with this man. I don't know why.
It's because you mute Trump when he speaks. That's why, Mari.
Well, clearly, you need to mute Trump when he speaks. Is he joking or is he
No, I just watch him on 2 times speed. That's all.
I cannot stand when that man speaks, man. Oh my God.
His captioning was good too.
Oh my God. Have you ever read a Trump's closed caption? It is the worst thing
Have
ever.
you read it as the baby politicians? You saw that going around, the baby politicians? Every politician sounds better when he's read by baby.
Monica, have you ever watched the baby one with Tim Scott?
We're actually engaging in a conversation.
Yeah.
I can have this conversation in chillism.
Don't be a messy brother.
Messy,
Just
messy,
getting back
messy.
to the betterment for the room, Amari. It's nothing
This was
personal.
an actual conversation about tech.
No, there was a conversation of Otis buzzing Matt.
Yeah, where were you at? There was no conversation about no one having Tech 9s.
Are you fucking retarded? On purpose, or is that
So many grumpy people.
do you feign retardation, or is that just a thing?
Why don't you watch when you're driving for you crash?
That's not me, stupid ass. There are other cars on the road. You understand that they engage with other people, right?
They engage with other people in other cars.
You could get back to a combo. Who's driving the car, stupid?
The robo-taxis. Where are you at?
You're a fucking idiot. And this is, I forgot. This is the stage that y'all like to curate. This man is stupid. Monica is an idiot. She's clearly kicked in the head as a child. And y'all.
Clearly, dropped on the head as a baby. Yeah. All that.
JD, say it with me. Fuck Donald Trump. This is fucking corny. Are there any moms here or what?
You didn't have the song played?
Oh, hey, April. How are you? Miss me.
Hi, April.
Hey, April, did you know it was November?
Amari.
What you say, Lisa?
Amari.
What you say, Mama?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Marty just throwing shit out, words out. What's going on?
He's having a moment.
I'm in my radio.
Oh my goodness. I don't know, people. Are we?
Just look at my PTR.
And look at my PTR too.
I'm actually driving.
Haitian
so
got
the
two
phone
movies
is on
out.
the charger.
Are we down with Haitian center? He's bubblegum.
Scotty, what's stop talking. What's going on, Scotty? What was the?
The tag conversation, but it was fucking ruined once again by your MAGA.
Man, that conversation ended when Matt went back.
Otis is MAGA?
Wait, I'm confused now because I just came off the mic.
Yeah, Monica, the conversation was ruined before I intervened. And the only reason I did is that as long as I have breath in my body, I will never let a white person disrespect me.
I'm not a friend. I don't know anybody.
I do not abide that ever. Exactly. Not in real life and not on this app.
Amari,
you
stop,
racists are going to have to learn how to speak to black people.
Whoa,
You're not going to disrespect us ever. If I'm around and I have the time, I'm going to check you. You're going to have to learn how to address us.
I prefer Venmo over checks now, actually. I have Cash App too.
Why was I muted? Yeah, I mean, look, Matt was disrespectful, and he deserved the ass whooping he got, and I put that on everything, no joke.
But at least I figure out why he's in the middle of it. I don't understand what's going on.
Come back on, Mario.
No,
I'm looking extra hot, man. I told you
there was no reason. Hold on, Lisa, go on me real quick. There was no reason.
Well, excuse me, Amari. What did you do? What's going on right now?
Come on, Lisa, let your man talk.
Play with fire, Amari. Play with fire.
You're my man. How could I, Amari?
Yeah, so there was no need for him to curse at Trent. Trent didn't curse at him. He was clearly being aggressive. Trent. He was clearly being aggressive. Trent wasn't being aggressive.
At ML.
He cursed at him.
He don't even know what's going on.
I can't tell the difference between they both have a Trinidadian voice.
Hey, so that's why Omari he was protecting his voice.
Trent's dad is Jamaican. He's not Trinidad.
Nah, he ain't Jamaican either.
Trent's dad is Jamaican. I'm serious. That's what he said.
I know what he said, but I said bullshit.
I look at Asian claiming his hell half.
Yo. You know, I was listening to what's his name, David Webb today. He said in Jamaica they actually help people get back on their feet. Like, so they'll get them like welfare and safety nets, but they come to your house, teach you how to plant. They help you with Job Corps.
What are you talking about?
Like Jamaica, like they help people get out of when they're in tough times. They actually, their government helps people versus where ours is getting rid of shit.
That is bullshit. I don't know about that one. That is bullshit.
In the Caribbean is that. No West Indian island had that.
David Webb said that.
They'll teach you how to fish.
Who said that?
David
Who
Webb.
told you that stupidness?
That's not true, man.
David Webb is Jamaican.
Pure stupidness. That's stupidness. Stupidness.
He's a Jamaican.
ML.
I do like
Tell him
David
that's stupidness.
I know that is stupidness.
That's pure stupidness.
I do like David Webb, though.
Stupidness.
So you're trying to say that hold on. I just want to make sure because I don't want to be. I don't want to get
In the islands, we don't have that stupidness.
So you're trying to say in the islands, your government doesn't help you get out of poverty. Don't try.
Your family better help you.
Your family better help you.
Shit.
Oh wow.
Rick, where you from?
Trinidad. What you talking?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So anyone here from Jamaica? What the hell's going on?
Of course.
Trinidad don't count. I'm talking about
My
Jamaica.
family from there.
Trini.
Yes, I'm a Trini.
Not a Trini.
Trini massive.
What's up, say? Boy, stop playing with me, boy.
What are you doing? Yesterday she was Creole. Now she's
Nah,
treated.
she's always been treated.
Don't
She was a Creole.
I'm British and Trinidadian. I've always
No,
been.
you were Creole. You were Creole.
I've never been British.
I'm British and Trinidadian.
Patty, that's not true.
Yes, my parents moved to the UK. You know, everybody talked about
we
this.
talked about this. I am British
Where
and
my family
Trinidadian.
lived and where her family
Thank
lived.
you. I'm British and Trinidadian.
I'm the last to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've heard the hints before, but I swear, I was like, is she Elysian?
No, I'm British and Trinidadian.
Okay.
My mother moved to England in the 50s.
Oh, part of Windrush?
Yes. I grew up in Balham. I was born and raised in England. I'm from England.
What's your post?
You can't run for president.
Southwest 12.
She's the daughter of an American. I think she can. You can run for president if you want to.
The fuck? What are you talking about?
You don't have an American citizenship.
Bitch, don't fucking play with me before I fucking pull you out.
I'm asking you a clarifying question. I wasn't disrespectful.
I am a fucking dual citizenship. Don't fucking play with me. I carry 2 passports.
Dia Mari, she can be president if she
I
wants
will
to.
kick your fucking tail. I carry 2
Prez,
passports.
we not fighting. I don't know if you didn't pick that up. We not fighting. I
You wanna
wasn't.
disrespect somebody?
I
Don't fucking
wasn't.
disrespect me.
I wasn't.
Well, you were trying to.
No, I wasn't.
Don't fucking disrespect me.
I wasn't,
I know you like
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. All that. I was just.
No, you a disrespectful bitch. Don't play with me. Keep that shit somewhere else. Don't fucking play with me. Go play in the street. Go play with trees. Don't fucking play with me.
This one is lit. Hey, you have any guest speakers coming up, Patty?
I was just trying to figure out what's going on because yesterday you and Infinity talks for 5 hours. 5 hours. I'm just
I wasn't even online for 5 hours. Come on now.
Well, how long were you online?
4 hours and 30 minutes.
It was Kenya and Patty that was talking all night.
Who was that? Who was that, Patty?
It was Kenya and them, but they were
Oh,
talking.
yeah, he came after. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I know you were.
And you thought she could coach me Infinity.
And you have a key to the
They call
door.
that
Oh, my, what is going on? Grooming? So what else is going on in the news? I've been out of touch for like
Trump put a check in my account, like 3 of them. Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute, what?
3 of them.
Signed the deal.
He paid back.
It's back pay.
Oh, I thought y'all got a Doge check or a
Girl, listen, I'm looking for that $10,000 TSA fucking bonus that Krusty Gnome was handing out.
Did you call her Krusty?
Krusty Gnome, girl, with a G. Gnome.
I can't believe she fucked Corey Lewandowski. That shit was crazy when I found that out.
Why? Why is that so surprising?
Because I thought wasn't she married?
You said, wasn't she?
She kills animals in a gravel pit. Do you think she cares about her husband?
He said, wasn't she? Like, I mean, maybe there's something going on in her relationship. She said, well, yeah, we don't know what's going on in her.
Trashy.
So I will start talking.
I said what I said. She is a trashy hoe.
She's a homeland secretary.
She is a trashy hoe. Please. That girl is full of Botox and weave and all kind of shit.
Can I ask a question? Because I'm asking questions because, like I said, I haven't heard anything all day, and now I'm driving back home.
Okay,
What's going on in North Carolina, y'all? Because I heard it was a mess.
We played it earlier. There's
Man signed the bill for real.
You signed a bill for North Carolina?
No, Trump signed the bill. Epstein's got it talked about earlier.
Why do you guys sound surprised? Everybody knew he was going to do it.
Before we go, can we just, I don't even know why this way, but we're talking about that, and I asked the question, hey, Edison, are you on stage? No? Okay. I'll read it when I get home.
So North Carolina, that's nothing's really going on in North Carolina today.
I think the files are going to be bleached. I don't think they're going to give us the real files. I don't trust these lying snakes slithering.
Oh my God.
I'm with you on that, Devon.
I don't know why you guys keep trying to make that such a fucking surprise. Because they were never, when he first got them, wasn't it known that he hired 1,000 people to go through those thousands of pages of documents to, when they put the line through it, purge his name out? Yeah, whatever, redact. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Redact. So if you hire 1,000 people to take those files, how much they are, I don't know. They're releasing like 30,000 at a time. So I'm really not even, are you guys still into that? I'm more interested in what the brother has coming from the emails. I'm not even interested in the files anymore because they've been, whatever you guys are calling it.
Elon had the files a long time ago. Remember when he put on X that Trump's in them? So they already used Grok to find all the Trump's names.
Exactly. That's what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, so they already know how to get, they're gonna be able to get his name out of most of that stuff. They're gonna use the AI.
Ooh, okay. And why did that guy quit? Okay, so I'm hearing one of the people I was working with today said somebody quit in lieu of or before they could release the files. What was his name? Because I guess he's scared that the truth is going to come out about what he was doing with Epstein. You guys know what I'm talking about? Because I don't remember the name. Somebody is.
The guy quit. Harvard, are you talking about? Summer?
Oh, yeah, that's the name. So who is he and what does he do?
I think he was faculty at Harvard, and they found an email that they'd exchanged. But, don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. But what I was going to say was that I heard some analysis today that was interesting, which was that there have been so many eyes on those files, like probably thousands of people, in these years, of the FBI going over them, of people at X going over them, that there could also be the possibility that they've cut and pasted that shit. Even if there's the sanitized redacted, there might be some detractors who have the real stuff and are going to leak it. And I can imagine that scenario happening too.
Maybe has it. They probably have the real, actually untouched files.
They do, of course. And a lot of people have had their eyes on that, and with all the Doge bullshit. So it could be that people are holding on to the originals.
Where's WikiLeaks when you need them?
But even if they did, who's going to accredit that it was true or not?
Didn't Edwin Snowden, what's his name, Snowden, didn't he come on and talk about it recently too? I didn't get a chance to catch that, but.
We have victims who've made statements or who've testified to anybody can match up with things in the files and tell whether that's true or not. I mean,
cross-reference stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shit, I think Patty played a clip this morning where the girl said, Trump, I voted for you, and you're playing politics. What is she? Do you remember the quote, Patty?
Yes,
What's that?
you're playing politics.
That shit, she vote like a Epstein victim voted for Trump. That shit blew my mind.
Yeah, I watched that. I was blown away when I saw that. I didn't see that coming at all. I was like,
she probably did it so he would release the files, or she thought that's what he would do.
But why would you vote for someone that's maybe was part of? I mean, if what people are saying is true.
I have no idea.
Get out of the news, sir.
Epstein victim is not necessarily a Trump victim. Right. So she was an Epstein victim, and this was a campaign promise. I said it earlier today. In the commercial that's out, some of you have seen it with the victims, I think they said something like, they've been waiting for 4 administrations for this to come out, right? And so someone's telling you, I'm going to put it out there. And someone says, oh, you're going to put it out? Okay, I'm going to vote for you because that you're going to put it out there. Again, that does not necessarily mean she is a Trump victim. She's an Epstein victim.
But they said they also said in those interviews that they all kind of talk and connect with each other, and that they share story. So if he was in them and if people are sharing his name, you think you would still vote for him? That doesn't make sense to me. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't make sense. If someone's telling you, I'm going to put out the truth about what happened to you and I'm running for president, that's an incentive to vote for you, for that person.
Isn't that we get the black patrol from that? You lobby on nigga?
I mean, we're talking about Epstein. That's
black man vote for that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, that's see, you're changing. Never mind. Go ahead, man. We're not going here.
Stand up for somebody that talks about grabbing women by their private parts and all this kind of stuff, has done things to people in dressing rooms and all this other kind of stuff. It's just a really, really horrible look that we have a president that talks about even, walking in the middle of the street and shooting somebody. It's like, that's what we have is an example, and I would never teach any child to look up to Donald Trump for any reason, right? No. So, just letting people, their food stamps lapse and all this other stuff, Republicans will be remembered for this stuff because you have control of everything and you're not using your power and, the Congress and people, they go on vacation. Like, come on, man, y'all gotta, you gotta start with things that's gonna help people, but you don't want to do that. You want to help anyone else. That's what I think.
Actually, you live in Texas.
Term memory.
This is crazy that you live in Texas, a state that votes against your own rights. That everything, women's rights, everything.
That's why I try to fight against it. I don't just sit there and say, "Woo, I like everybody." I don't. I don't like every guy that's run here, buddy. I don't just sit back and say, "Well, I'll let them take care of it." It doesn't happen like that. I stand up for people who can't stand up for themselves. I continue to fight, dude. This is not anything new, right? I have been doing this stuff for years. I continue to speak out about people not having food, clothes, homelessness, and all of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We work with 211. That's one of the largest data in our state. It's huge. And so we follow those numbers. I don't go by what ED or what's on the internet. I go by what United Way and those hard numbers that they crunch and they come out with, and that lets us know what sectors need food, what parts of zip codes may be in food deserts, all of that other stuff. That yes, it's on the internet, but you're gonna have to really start digging so you understand the issues and not just blame just because I live in this state.
But you live in a Republican state. You say Republicans suck, but you live in a state that overwhelmingly votes Republican.
But I don't. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
What do you want her to do, Amari?
I don't know. What can she do? But I'm just saying, like, if Republicans so bad, why do people, including people that look like you, continue to vote for Republicans?
And family and connections in that state. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Because you live in a red state and you complain about Republicans. I live in a blue state. You
complain about people. I know you do.
I don't complain like that.
I know you do.
Because he's in a blue state, but then he votes for Republicans and then asks her why does she stay
I voted for Trump. I didn't vote for Republican.
Republicans say that. Oh my God, Amari. Wait.
Trump is not a Republican.
It's starting to get weird.
What's weird is you think Trump is a Republican.
No. You're not going to mix this up and put it in the fucking blender again.
So what is a Republican to you?
No, we're not going to do Trump as a Republican to you. What? Excuse me?
See, he always wants to come on.
To go on you because he knew I was about to tell him to do the same.
Okay, go ahead. But no, go ahead.
No, just tell him to finish. I just wanted him to mute up so you could finish. Go ahead.
Okay, so he voted for a Republican platform. Now, all of a sudden, they need to remix it or whatever they're doing. It's not even a remix. It's like, you know, they're chopping it up and swap chewing it and then shitting it out their ass. Now he's not a Republican, so that makes it seem like you didn't vote for a Republican now. Are you guys understanding what's going on here?
He is
Y'all, the people, we call you a dumb buck in a truck. That's what we call folks like you. Keep
I voted for Trump, and Trump is not a Republican.
Wait a minute.
So what does that mean, Omari? Seriously?
Okay, let's be serious. Okay, hold on, Lisa. Hold on.
Okay, hold on.
Trump is a Republican because he with the Republican Party. But in theory, can you see him pushing any real Republican policies, like from end to end? Like, do you see him as a bullshit?
Reagan literally got every policy that Republicans have wanted for the last 50 years pushed. What are y'all talking about, man?
So we're now saying Trump is a traditional Republican.
He's attacking the word. It doesn't matter if you think he's a rhino. It doesn't matter if you think he's a rhino or not. What is his legislation say? I don't care what his rhetoric is. What has he pushed legislatively? He has pushed Republican things. That's why so many Republicans who are repulsed with him continue to vote for him, because at the very end of it, he gets their end goal done. They don't like what he says. They don't like what he stands for. But when it comes to his policy, he's gotten everything that they wanted done. He is a motherfucking Republican.
He is not a Reagan.
Shit.
He's not a Bush.
What is going on? Man, hey, it's cool. Bush wasn't a Reagan.
Rob, in all seriousness, no, Omari is correct. The terrorists hold on a minute. The terrorists are 100% against what Republicans have stood for like all my entire lifetime. That is not Republican.
NAFTA was passed because it was bipartisan. Stop.
Trick, you got to do with being a Republican. That's bipartisan.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. Okay, because there's more. What he's pushing right now in AI, it's the Republicans that are pushing against it because they want state rights. Republicans are state rights. Trump is coming with a very heavy-handed, centralized.
That's not true, Trent. That's not fucking true, man.
Hold on. It's just coming out. Okay, look, the Republicans are pushing back on the AI and eliminating states' rights. And so Trump has come with a very heavy-handed Washington, D.C. centralized legislation, which is totally against what most Republicans have been for since Romney and McCain and going back.
But aren't unions Democratic? And I'm asking rhetorically. So they would be pushing against AI. So that's not a good argument.
I think we might be getting lost in the sauce here.
Yeah,
Donald Trump used the Republican Party similar, because there's only two parties. When you run for office, you only can really get two parties: the Democratic Party or the Republican Party.
But all of the Heritage Foundation shit, which is Republican, which is what they've been.
Scotty, when you think of Republicans, you think of the Romneys, you think of the McCain, you think of the Bushes, you think of the Cheneys.
You think of their ideology and their whole package. This is what they've been trying to do for decades, to dismantle the New Deal America.
Right.
You know what that is?
Because he sprinkled a couple of Republican shit policies in with it. He's not overall. He's not a Republican.
He is a Republican.
That man's a Republican. That's all he's saying he is. He's a Republican. We never thought he was a Democrat. He was hanging out with Democrats, but he was never thought to be a Democrat. He's a Republican. He's Republican values.
He's a disruptor. I would say he's not.
Let me finish responding to you. You don't like being interrupted. You keep interrupting people, Marty. Hold on a second. Listen, his racist values, which he's always had, are Republican. It matches up with old white men, old rich white men. That's his values.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay. I mean, I feel like I don't want to argue. This is not worth an argument.
Because you're wrong. That's why.
It's not worth an argument. If I think Trump is a Republican.
Trump is a Republican.
Fine.
He is a Republican. His policy.
And you conceded it.
Y'all
He's a
conceded.
modern, yeah, he's a modern Republican.
Y'all conceded. So he is.
The federal AI legislation is interesting to me.
Can I ask a question?
Well, hold on. So I just wanted to respond to Brian. Yeah, Brian, so I said modern because, like, in the late 80s and in the early 90s, he had, like, 25% set-asides for minority businesses. He was with Jesse quite a bit at the Rainbow Push Coalition conferences all the time. And so I think, and he was very fond of Bill Clinton. So I think there's a period in his life where he was a Democrat.
I used to work for a guy who donated Democratic.
Hold on, let me finish this one though. I used to work for a guy who donated HBCUs and he was racist as fuck. So it still happens.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's called politics. Hold on one second. It's called politics. If you're in a Democratic city when the Democrats control, you of course are going to be going to the fundraisers. You're going to be commiserating with them, and you're going to be giving them money and all that shit. You may even vote for them. I don't know. But you're going to be tied in with them. You may even donate or have some policy things that they want to, that the Democrats want you to pick up on and support. And that's how they do it, and that's how they get favors to get beneficial, I don't know, zoning, building, whatever it is in the city. And that's how you play politics. And that's why he was tied in with the Democratic Party.
Scotty, you know history. Do you really think Donald Trump is like a traditional Republican? I know COC modern.
Look at
but I think the Republicans are using him and he's using them.
Things. It's the Heritage Foundation. Do you know them? Do you know that John?
I mean, look.
Do you know who they are?
I get they use each other, but look at his actions.
What Democrats are? Do you know what they trying to accomplish? What he's trying to dismantle? Do you know any of that?
Scotty, yes. Scotty. I think the issue you run into with your argument, though, Scotty, was his first term and how much pushback he got from traditional Republicans. How many left the administration? How many railed against him? So
he ran in the primary.
But today,
he won the Republican primary. He ran as a Republican.
I'm not trying to argue back and forth.
Like it or not.
Can we just have a conversation or not?
How about this?
Okay, you're just gonna go great. Okay.
Yeah, because you're fucking wrong and everybody should know about it. You don't know everything. I'm sorry. You don't. You're wrong on this.
Yeah, you're so right about it, you're not able to have a conversation about it, right? You're so.
What's the conversation if you want to spread lies? But go ahead. You have the.
So what is a lie? Is it a lie that Republicans, he had a lot of issue with Republicans in his first term? Is that a lie, Scotty?
Having issues with your own party doesn't mean that you are not going to, you're going against the party platform. You should look at the party platform and what he has tried to accomplish. They're literally against women, they're against LGBT rights, they're against a lot of things. They're therefore giving tax cuts to the rich. All of this shit he has been doing. This is dyed-in-the-wool Republican shit.
Was he considered a mainstream Republican during his
No, see, you know that he wasn't. That you know that now you're playing with semantics. But this is, I said this from when I made the point earlier. But I had something different. No, Scotty isn't saying anything different. Scotty is literally saying whether he's a moderate, whether he's a new age Republican or not. He's pushed their agenda. He's pushed the agenda of the last 50 years, buddy. CEO, you know this. Come on, bro.
I think this term you can call him a Republican.
But he did it in the first term.
Now defines what a Republican is. So like
he did. Okay. You know why they were against him in the first term? It wasn't because of the policy that he was going to play. They just didn't like him. That was the whole Liz Cheney thing. Look at Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell hates his guts.
Policy as well. There was a lot of.
I mean, it was more. They looked at him and they saw the dangers of him.
There's always going to be a give and take.
What was his signature accomplishment in his first term, y'all?
Because he's a business owner.
Was it the tax cut bill?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and is that a Republican bill? Do you think that is squarely?
That definitely is a Republican bill.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Y'all pushing semantics at this stage, man. Like,
that's the only thing Republicans like about it.
I get the whole. Y'all smart than a motherfucker, right? I'm assuming this. Do y'all know what rhino mean? Because if we talking about George Bush and those people, That literally means Republican in name only.
Wait a minute.
You feel me?
This is bullshit. Because what did he say about McConnell's wife? What Republicans have you ever heard call someone's wife ugly?
And they still wrote his dick.
He made a Chinese racist joke about his wife.
And they still wrote his dick.
Republicans, you never see Republicans and the GOP people prior to Trump do that kind of shit. You never see. They would have never signed the First Step Act.
You've never had a nationalist.
He's not a full Republican.
I mean, I know what you're saying. If that's the case,
background, if that's what you're saying, they have never had a
regardless, not a traditional Republican. Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's it.
I think this shit is like retarded.
Yeah, he's not a cat.
He might be the definition of a rhino.
But he's the Republican Party, so he's a Republican. It's just not. That's it. So now both of y'all make sense.
Thank you, Patty.
And Patty, you know, I was right from the jump. Amari was wrong, and that's just what it is, man. We here to argue. Let's stop playing. Everybody that consistently comes in this space likes to argue, other than the people who sit in the audience and listen. So it is what it is.
Rob, I completely agree. That's why I love you, my boy. You know, I'm coming to Houston. I probably this weekend. I might have to look you up.
Hey, pull up on me, man. I'm in the Galleria area overnight, but I'm coming down on shorts.
Let's get some crack and get us some Johnny Walker.
Hey, man, pull up on me, man. We there.
All right. Real quick, I'm gonna say this, and your mama, like, if I insulted you in any way, I did not mean to about the conversation. You know, anybody could talk about this. A lot of the privacy law that they're talking about going back and forth has to do with the way we hold and delete records, and this app would be like one of them. In certain states, Clubhouse would be allowed to use this conversation to reconstitute for an AI platform. They could keep the data forever. In other states, that would not be allowed. You couldn't improve your AI without express written consent for a certain period of time. And there's all these laws, and I agree with that. Actually, with what April said, having 80-year-old people legislate on AI is a bad idea, because she's completely right. A lot of them don't know what they're doing, and we need to have a federal law that covers everyone, and that everybody is comfortable with, and people understand. I'm for less law than more law, because I just know where things are going. But it is probably one of the best discussions affecting your life that you can have for the next 10 years.
Was there like a mic drop moment or something? Or my phone tripping?
No, it wasn't. It was a bathroom.
I think that my bad. Let me be quiet. Bonnie just came in the room. Let me shut up.
Another news, I won the home run derby on Meta VR yesterday. So just wanted to let you know I beat one of the top people.
You know, Stephen Curry is not really a Golden State Warrior, you guys.
Does that mean you can pay the debt that you didn't pay before?
No, it wasn't a betting. It was just an online match. But I didn't realize I was going to play the top person. And I beat him 4,387 points to 3,800 points. So that's what's up. I was knocking that shit 445 feet out the park. I was looking like Otani out there, bitch. Not only when I got a Meta headset, if you do got a Meta headset, if you want to stay in shape for you thick people, for you thickums, there's a couple of Meta games in there. You get yourself I think the one that they got the hit game. You got the one that has a little bats and shit. So, and it got a little Peloton.
It made me dizzy.